pressure, that can make a good decision, that can score, that can pass. You get a ball to that player, and you allow Houston to play how they want to play, and you all are going to get beat. And I'll give you an example of this. The other day in that Boston game, in the third quarter, Jason Tatum took over the entire game. Why? Because they kept pressuring hard and blitzing off the pick and roll. And what did he keep doing? He kept stepping off the double team, between the legs crossovers, drive the paint, kick to the open man. On the last play, the Twin, what did he do? I mean, the play before the last play. He went to ball pressure. He went hard pressure. He went up in his chest. What did Tatum do? He went right by him and laid the ball up. My point is, wait. But my point is, I'm finished. My point is, that's Jason Tatum. What do you think Luka's going to do? What do you think Brian is going to do? They're gonna dunk on it.
Yeah, but they're missing a couple guys right now. So it's like, because they're missing what? They're missing.
My point is to beat those teams. My point is to beat those teams with those tall, big, playmaking type players. This is why they haven't beat the Lakers yet. It's because
we beat the Lakers. I think we played them 3 times this year. We beat them once this year.
Okay, maybe they beat them 1 time. My point is they have to stop. They can't play the best players that way.
All I'm gonna say is any person who is bragging about their team winning games before All-Star break, you know they ain't serious. Don't no real contender talk like this. You don't hear real contenders talking about winning.
Hey, so I'm looking at, hey, fellas, this for clarification.
This is being serious.
You know he's excited, man. You know he's a little excited.
For clarification, they have beat the Lakers this year.
Can I say one more thing? Can I say one more thing? Excuse me. He had 21 and 10.
Who had 21 and 10? Wait, who had 21 and 10?
Austin Reeves.
He must be talking about Austin Reeves. Has to. Oh, he did. I'm looking at it. He had 21 and 10 against Houston on January 5th.
I hope that's not shocking to everybody.
Yeah, he had
Austin getting ready.
No, it's not shocking.
We got to stop out there.
The second time.
Hey, well, let's talk about the guy who has a good night shooting 20% from 3. Let's talk about him.
Wait, pause. The second time they played, he had 8 and 3 in 30 minutes. So, you know, maybe they figured, and they beat the Lakers.
We don't depend on Austin Reeves for 20. We don't need that.
Slow down. The Lakers lost that one by 16. That's all I'm trying to say. So Houston has beat the Lakers twice this year. The first time they beat them, Austin Reeves had 21 and 10. They beat them by 4. The next time they beat them by 16, and Reeves only had 8 and 3. So
that don't change my mind about the playoff.
Why Reeves is irrelevant in this? What?
Well, he's relevant.
Reeves will be your third best player.
Wait. Whoa. Slow down. Whoa, pause. Just slow down, please. Wait, pause. Just give me a second here. Reeves is important in the discussion because he's the Lakers' third leading scorer. So he is important in the conversation. I just want to flag that. But on the other end, you know, you're tripping. He would not be the third best player in Houston.
He's better than Houston? He's better than He's better than Jalen Green.
He's better than Jalen Green?
Yeah. You got Savior syndrome right now.
What does he do? He don't dunk the ball as hard as that?
I want to hear the other Lakers fans.
He knows that 15 toes down.
I just got a question.
What does Jalen Green do himself? He's better than Austin Reeves, AG.
Y'all like the niggas, bro.
Let's talk basketball. What does
I'm not gonna lie.
What does Jalen Green do exceptionally better than Austin Reeves? Are you just gonna keep yelling?
The conversation is going off the rails.
Just talk basketball. What does Jalen Green do that's exceptionally better than Austin Reeves?
I'll talk basketball to you. I'm be real with you. Austin Reeves is very much overrated. He's not a dynamic athlete. He's targeted every night defensively by the opposing team because he's the weak point in that defense. He's out there getting points, yes, but he's getting points because somebody has to shoot the damn ball. Look at the roster. You got Max Christie and all these kids. These guys are balls.
Now,
I'm gonna just be.
we can talk.
Hold on, wait, slow down. Jalen Green has more gravity. Jalen Green is a dynamic athlete. He puts more pressure on the defense, right?
I mean, he just overall a better player.
He just shoots the ball more. That's it.
The only thing that
Austin Reeves is better in every facet of the game.
On a breakdown on what skills does he possess that are better than Austin?
I mean, what skills does he
do Austin have?
Wait, whoa. I know you're not about to fix your lips and say he's not skilled.
He's not that good, man.
And you think Austin Reeves better than Jalen Green too?
He is.
He's fucking good liquor.
I mean, hold on.
Wolf still ain't told me what Jalen Green better at.
Hold on, Nino.
Everything.
Everything, you know. He's more dynamic. He's more athletic. He puts more pressure.
He don't rebound better. He can't facilitate better. They scored the same
I
clip.
just want to say,
It ain't like Jalen Green. You're taking the defense. I'm just saying.
If the right, if
Go ahead, right? Let Ray talk. Let Ray talk. He's at work. Go ahead.
Hold on. Jalen Green is averaging 21, 4, and 2. He's shooting 43% from the field and 35 from 3. Austin Reeves is averaging 18, 4, and 6, shooting 45 and 36. So it's not that much of a difference in their stats. The only thing that I think they're trying to get at is that Jalen Green has a higher ceiling, which
No, he's also one of the best.
Wait.
Pause.
It's not just about stats. It's also athletic defensively. Exactly. That's number one. He's not a target defensively. He's an incredible athlete defensively. He matches up with the best and most dynamic guards in the league easily. He does it night after night.
I've watched whole NBA games where they call out Austin Reeves.
Secondly,
I've watched whole games
offensively, Jalen Green on offense, he is a more imposing player. Meaning, when he gets the ball, you have to account for him. You know why? Because he's going to dunk on you if you don't. He's going to dunk on you, right? And y'all all know we've been on courts. When that super athletic guy get the ball, the defense shift. You know why? Because nobody's shifting off Austin Reeves. Nobody's shifting.
Come on, man. We got to stop this Lakers stuff.
Nobody's nervous when Austin Reeves gets the ball. Nobody's nervous.
Nobody.
Austin Reeves fuck around don't be better than Dante DiVincenzo. He lead a Lakers. All right.
If Jalen Green keep it up, he's gonna do something.
I'm glad you brought him up because this is the exact conversation we have with these damn Knicks fans about Dante. And I told them when he went to Minnesota, it wasn't going to be that.
It's the same thing Westman said about
he averaged 22 points in the playoffs.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing Wright said about my man from Miami. What's his name? Light skin.
No. It's what I said about him.
What's my man?
I said he was a scrub. He is a scrub.
Yeah, he just had a good opportunity.
He had a great opportunity. No, another kid. What's that kid? Max. What's his name? He in Cleveland now. What's his name?
Oh, you talking about Max
Strus? Oh. That's another guy.
Yeah, he's not very good.
He's not very good. You know, this is what Wolf was talking about Cleveland's rotation because they got Jerome and Strus and them guys ain't legit. They're not.
Hey, but Jared Allen not legit. And I fuck with you. I thought Jared Allen was like that.
Bro, what are you talking about? Jared Allen? Jared Allen?
That's insane.
I don't agree with that.
I'm saying you my attitude right now, man. Shit by the weed, but I need that.
Listen, I'm not going to agree with you on that because defensively,
Jared Allen is awesome.
Wait.
That nigga's a walking double, no matter where he at.
Y'all short
Wait, slow down.
Bro, you in these regular season games, my God.
I don't care about it regular season. You don't let somebody bully, though. That's a
Jared Allen. Now we gonna put the tag on Jared Allen that he be getting pumped. What? What? Saying go keep hell on the ground, one play.
Wait. Just slow down. I do think that if you take Allen out of that system, he's less impactful. However, I think he's a damn
I like
player.
He was a double with the man.
Wait. Him and Mobley are a hell of a 1-2 punch defensively. I watched them play OKC 2 weeks ago. And he was him.
Yeah, them boys handle their business, man. They handle their business.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say he's not good. I just think that
I'm not saying he's not good. I think that nigga is soft. He's soft.
Well, I don't know. I gotta think about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He got his car pulled back to back. I watched this shit. We've been talking about Shingun being weak. But they're in their whole month now. And then back-to-back games, Jared Allen's supposed to be one of the top defenders in the league, got bitch. I saw it. I literally watched it. He had it.
I'm not going to argue with you.
And say, nah,
I mean, he definitely he could be a little tougher under that ring, but I don't know. He's just a really good basketball player to me.
Jerry's good. He's a good center, bro. But like all that defensive shit that I thought he would like that. He ain't no
but the one thing I do like about him is like around the basket, him and Mobley are very good at hitting short shots.
Yeah, I was gonna say
his free throw shooting is pretty good.
I was gonna say
he's not Rudy Gobert.
I was gonna say the truth of the matter is him and Mobley deserve the ball more. If they got the ball more, they could do more. You know, that's the reality to me.
I'm not gonna lie to you. What I saw from Mobley the other night, I'm gonna be real, bro. Like Mitchell and Garland are holding Mobley back. That guy has KG potential. Evan Mobley has KG potential. Like his jumper is smooth. He understands how to find.
He's not quite as tough as KG. But KG wasn't that tough when he was young either.
Yeah, but if you go to a team and you only in your fourth year and you play with Mitchell and Garland, you never got a chance to do.
I mean, as much as I love Donovan Mitchell game, he's doing better this year. He's not ball hogging as much this year. He could do a better job of like letting them guys feel like they the star of the show a little bit. Like get them guys the ball more and just get out the way, you know. But the problem, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is with Garland and Jared Allen is, and the reason Donovan Mitchell always have to step up is because when it's time to be a killer, none of them want to do it. So he always have to put his cape on. And y'all know how it is. Like if I gotta bail you out every night, then I'm not going to give you.
I disagree. The other night that wasn't the case. And I remember Nebra asked us in the group chat. He said, "Is Mobley being held back?"
I'm saying most nights that is the case, though. Most nights it's the Donovan Mitchell in the fourth quarter. He got to take.
I watched him play, and Mobley was by far the best player on the floor, and Mitchell kind of was he wasn't ball hogging. He was like out there heat checking at times. I'm like, bro, just give Mobley the ball. He's on fire. You know what I'm saying? So that once I saw that game, I was thinking like, I think Nebra might be right. I think he's probably being held back by Mitchell. I think it's true. I think he's the best player on that team.
I actually agree with that too. I think with Mobley with Donovan Mitchell, bro, he's so fucking nice, bro. And it's like you got a guy who a max guy that proved that he won, took everything he's been to the playoffs. It's like it's gonna be on Mobley. You know, when them moments come up, bro, you gotta step up because if you don't, a nigga like Donovan, bro, he don't shy away from that shit. So it's like one of y'all young niggas gonna have to do something, or Donovan, or it's his team. You know, he came in and picked the team anyway. So it's like Mobley gotta step into that role, and I think he can. I'm not gonna put it on Donovan and try to get him involved and all this shit. You gotta take that, bro.
Y'all be killing with that pause, man. But anyway, man, I don't know. But we got a little excited about the Reeves stuff, but it was out of line.
How y'all feel about Mobley and Chet Holmgren? Who y'all think better of them two?
The jury's still out.
I want to say
right now,
Mobley. I want to say Chet is the better player, but availability is the best ability. So I'm gonna give it to Mobley. But I think
today Mobley, but Chet to me will he seemed like he might be better in the long run.
Yeah, like Chet has shown some good signs on him, man. He just.
I mean, they both natural basketball players. They both got, a lot of different skills and things they bring to the table. So it's kind of tough for me.
Where y'all stand on this college shit right now? Cause it looks like Cooper gonna go first.
Well, Dylan Harper been sick. Now he got a rolled ankle. I mean, he having a tough couple months. It is what it is.
Yeah, I actually think Flag and Bailey might go 1 and 2 because people like that 6'10" stuff, So it's like I think people are gonna take a shot on him.
But honestly, it ain't really in Dylan Harper's best interest to go number 1.
Well, he needs
to go to Brooklyn.
That's where he needs to stay far from the Brooklyn Nets, to be honest with you. But But obviously, they would love to have him. But I think Bailey actually is going to go over him too.
Like I'm seeing a lot of people, and it's crazy because like people love the glamour, bro. Like how shit looks, and it's crazy because it's like y'all don't see that this dude's game is limited. Like y'all don't see. First off, the fact that he's 16 and he's settling for jumpers, like most of your highlights are contested jump shots. That already should be a red.
Are you talking about Flag?
No, he's my Bailey.
Oh, Bailey. Okay.
The jump shots and the contested jump shots, and he's 16. Like that shit right there should be a red flag. But people like the cute shit. They like the glamour of everything, and they don't know what they're looking at, man.
Yeah, I don't trust Bailey at all. You got to get him on the right strength and conditioning program, and then you got to hope that he got the work ethic to develop on the left side of the court. Then there's things with his consistency. Now he's young. I think he's only like 19. So, but it's just a lot you got to get. You got to get a lot of things to go right for most out of that kid.
If I had him, that type of guy. You got to work on counter.
I'm gonna be real with y'all guys. I think we're wrong. And the reason I say that is because I've been we all been watching games this year. The NBA is not in a good place, fellas. I think being one-handed and one-sided like that, I think we can still come to the NBA and be productive because the game is played in such a limited way. Like all you got to do is run the spots and shoot.
People keep telling me these kids are more skilled, and I just don't.
They're definitely, I don't see that either. But
I watch my Pistons sitting 6 in the East, and they got literally one guy, only 2 at most when he's healthy, that can actually get their own shot. But people trying to tell me that the game is better than it was.
I think he could be another NBA player, but he ain't gonna be successful as he could.
I'm telling you, I just want to remind you with it. Michael Porter Jr. got like 2 or 3 two massive deals. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't take a whole lot. You gotta do is hit those shots when you get them. You know what I'm saying?
Michael Porter don't rebound. He don't rebound on defense.
He don't pass or rebound or do nothing. He just shoot 3. He a big body. Guess what? He's a big body. He's 6'10". So if he hit the weight room and shoot jump shots, it's a pass.
That's the perfect comp for him, Michael Porter Jr.
What I'm saying is, if you look around the NBA, bro, it's a lot of bigs like Fontecchio for the Pistons. If you look around the league, bro, it's like a couple.
Michael Porter Jr.
Yes, correct.
That was actually my point. Michael Porter got hurt. That nigga was.
Whoa! What y'all mean? Don't he got a bad back?
No,
2 back surgeries before he hit the league.
He's saying post. No, Richard. He's saying post.
My point is that there's no such thing as you have a bad back. You already had a bad back. Like
no. He is what he is. But he's saying he was colder when he didn't have an issue. That's all he's trying to say.
My point is that whatever. My point is,
I don't understand the point.
The point is the back is a part of the player. That's like saying Bradley Beal. Back, like your back is your back. Like it's not like a ACL or a.
So, Rich, you feel that way about T-Mac too?
Yes,
we do.
Yes, 100%.
I don't agree, but it's consistent.
I just want to flag that we both feel like T-Mac is a fringe Hall of Famer.
Yeah, like I don't even think T-Mac should be in the Hall of Fame. Because to me, back injuries are not an excuse. Like you're born with your spine. Like it's not like
coming in the league off 2 surgeries though.
I don't agree with that, bro. Because you can have a healthy back and that bitch can get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I feel like that injury is the same as any other injury, and a back injury is probably dangerous.
I think that might be the worst thing doctors. I think teams and players. The thing is, a lot of these issues don't develop until you're 16, 17 years old. You already have them a lifetime. My point is that you can play with bad back, but eventually it's going to get you. And to be clear, like I have a slight case of scoliosis, so I know a little bit about back issues.
Every nigga like you got scoliosis.
Yeah, you get to a certain age, you get to a certain point, but most people they don't just pop up with a back injury. It don't just happen like that. Like that's not really a thing. Like they already have back.
Carrying yourself to Michael Porter Jr.'s back is crazy, bro.
More structure type hip back thing. Because like a lot of people think they have lower back problems and really they have hip issues.
But that too. But my point is that when people say, well, if he didn't have a bad back, but like. I know.
I still don't get the significance of why are we having this conversation. I don't understand the point. Like, why are we talking about this?
No, my point is,
My point is,
I think Michael Porter. I think he was a player.
No, wait, listen. All he was saying was when his mobility was when he had more mobility, he was a more dynamic player. That's all he said. Like,
when was that? When was that, Ray? Right, so we never saw him in the NBA.
Right. Again, all he was saying is that in the NBA, he's a stationary jump shooting player. Pre-NBA, that wasn't who he was in time. That's all he's fucking saying. Like I don't, you know. But now you want to leave anyway. Let's continue talking.
Y'all niggas crazy.
Like, sometimes he just on these tangents. I'm like, God, what are you talking about? Like, I mean. But anyway, my bad, man. It just pissed me off.
That was the case with Michael Porter, though. Before the injury, you know, that was.
No, listen, he knows that's all he knows what the hell he was talking about it for. Like, what are you talking about? Just shut up. But whatever. Anyway, sorry,
shut up.
I forgot. Damn it. Oh no, you know who they started to show love to? Is the kid in Baylor, the Jamaican kid.
What you say?
I think he's a top 10 pick.
With the current state of the NBA draft, that's not a controversial statement. I'm not going to have that.
Yeah. You think he can crack top 5?
Who?
He should.
I just would like to remind people that Reed Shepherd went 3rd last year.
Who are y'all talking about?
He's talking about VJ.
So why not take VJ?
Yeah. Well, he kind of reminded me of that kid. Hamadou, what's his name? Diallo.
Diallo. Yeah.
Is that his name? Is that his name?
He was a star in high school, though.
He was a star in college.
See, this is the point. This is similar.
How much he played?
I think he went to Kentucky.
He went to Kentucky. Yeah. This is the point I'm trying to make, even about the Porter Jr. Like these guys.
We're done with Porter Jr.
Wait, can you just be quiet? My point is projecting these guys based on high school games. Like if when they get to the NBA, like how they play is how they play. You can't say, "Oh, he would have done it." No. That's like once you get to the NBA, that's how you play.
Again, I'm not like I was saying. VJ, it wouldn't surprise me if VJ.
My point is VJ being good in high school doesn't mean anything. VJ.
No, we're not talking. No, we're talking about the fact that he scored 25 in the last 3 games.
Right, but that's the one game he's been playing. He's been playing all season. He's been playing all season. The kid is not good. The kid is not good.
Right. See.
Like what are y'all talking about?
What the fuck is going on?
Richard, I need you to slow down. Raymond, shut up. The kid is not good.
The conversation was, do you think he'll be a top 10 draft pick? You can't be talking about he could. He's 100% going to be a top 10 draft pick.
But he's not. But he's not good.
It doesn't. Nobody said he. The question was, would he make sense to be a top 10 draft pick? I said, with the state of the draft, that's likely to occur. Nobody said he's going to be
the team that takes him in the top 10.
Nobody said he's going to be a star. Nobody said he was dynamic.
The team that's taking him in the top 10.
You came in talking about something that nobody's talking about for the second time.
Right, man. Again, the team that takes him in the top 10 is wasting their draft pick.
No shit, Sherlock, but that's not the conversation we were having.
Raymond, you said should he be a top 10 pick?
So was Reed Shepherd the 3rd pick in last year's draft?
And what did I say about him going 3rd?
That's not the point. That's not the point. The question is, could he be a top 10 pick?
My point is,
we're not saying he's going to be transformative. We're not saying he's going to be a star.
Raymond,
he's not an all-star. All we're asking is, could he be a top 10 pick?
Good is irrelevant. My point is,
what the hell are we talking about?
My point is, he shouldn't be.
Richard, that's not the question. It's not the question. It's not a question of should. It's a question of could.
Whatever, Raymond.
Damn. It ain't that hard to comprehend.
No, Raymond. Saying could is implying it's a reasonable decision. It's a bad decision. It's a horrible decision.
No, it's possible. We're talking about whether it's possible, and that the answer is absolutely.
Raymond, anything is possible.
Oh, here you go. Okay. All right, fucking Tim Duncan. Like, come on, man. Or Kevin Garnett, whatever it is. Bro, just chill. Like, yeah, the kid gonna get a top 10 draft pick.
Anybody,
Amadou Diallo was the 6th pick. I don't know. He was the 5th, 6th pick, 7th pick. I don't know who he was. He was top 10. It don't matter.
I don't think he was a top 10 pick. Hold up.
Amadou Diallo went to the Detroit Pistons as he was their 1st round pick.
I don't think he was a top 10 pick.
He was there. Where is this kid at? He out the league now, but hold on. Let me see. Amadou Diallo.
I think he was lottery.
He was definitely lottery.
He was lottery. He might have been 10 to 15.
Second round. Okay, again, once again, I'm using right as usual. 45th pick in the draft.
Let me see.
Right. Yeah, go look it up. Everybody always get mad at me and I be right every time. I might just go back to work. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, go to work because you're wrong. Because these tangents are insane. Because you're wrong again.
The amount of tangents here are insane.
I have looked at Draft Express. He is projected to be top 8.
Come on, BTA. Exactly.
Yeah, but the Draft Express sucks too.
Transformative or nothing like that. We just say, could he be a top 10 pick? The answer is yes.
He's definitely gonna go top 10 just based on the history though. Like they take guards like athletic guys, guards who ain't gonna do that shit. They gonna take them. He like Dennis Smith to me minus without the point guard.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth, Paul. Yeah, he's not as dynamic with the, like far as off the dribble, but yeah.
I think Dennis Smith was a little better than him.
Yeah, without the point guard.
Yeah, but Smith was also smaller.
Was gonna be nice.
Smith was also smaller than him though. Edgecombe is like 6'4", 6'5". So
I actually saw Edgecombe. He's about 6. He's about 6'3", 6'4". He might not be taller than Dennis Smith.
Apples to oranges.
How is that apples to oranges? What are you talking about?
Because Dennis Smith was what, 6'1", 6'2"?
Dennis Smith is 6'3". Have you seen him?
Yeah, but his problem, he played like a 3. He played like a small forward. He got that tall. He got that weird ass jump shot. Like it's a slow release. That's just not gonna work in the league, bro. It's just not at all. You play like a small forward at 6'4", 6'3". Yeah, it's not gonna work, bro.
They don't be liking it, man. Just take Trey Johnson and you'll be fine. That's the guard that they should be talking about, maybe getting a little more juice because he can score. He can score in college and be able to score in the NBA.
Whoever get him, man, they gonna get a guy. They don't have a dog.
Wolf, man, I need you to take me to the airport tomorrow, man. Take the slide.
What time? What's today? Man, I'm gonna be at work. What time you leaving?
Asking for a ride from the airport, crazy, or to the airport. Sorry.
You coming to Vegas?
No, what's the Vegas weekend?
Nigga Benavidez this weekend.
Oh nah, see, I would have, but I would have if I would have not had these plans before. But I'm going to Oregon.
Oregon.
The other was a 45th pick in the draft. 42nd over. We know, right?
Oregon.
Okay, we know I'm right.
That wasn't what we were talking about, though.
I know.
Hey, yo, I thought he said we know right, but he said we know I'm right. Yo, this nigga crazy.
No.
I said
He said right at the 9. He said,
the point I'm trying to make is people always say, could he go? And what I'm saying is, like, that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem, which is, like, Reed Shepard going 3 in the draft is part of the problem. People shouldn't be having these conversations, and then you won't waste picks.
I think the issue part of that is
go ahead.
No, but I was gonna say, do you think? I think part of that is like the availability and what's in the draft. Like, did this guy have a talent of a normal top 10 pick, top 5 pick?
Okay, but I'll say this. We knew there was a better guard. I'm talking about us in this group. We had these conversations. We from the McDonald's game, from the night of the McDonald's game, we got on the space. We went in the group chat, and my brother said immediately. He actually called me on the phone and said immediately, Jared McCain is the best guard in this game. Jared McCain is a better pro prospect. His dribble pass shoot, his footwork, everything. He's just a better player. This didn't take no rocket science, right? So my point about the draft and these conversations is like they become so divorced from like reality. It's like, oh, he measured well. He had a good vertical leap. Like when you watch the game, does he look like a top 10 player? That's all you got to ask yourself.
Hell no.
He definitely don't look top 10. But and the reason I was saying, because I was actually gonna post that in the group chat earlier when I saw the highlights. I was like, do y'all think he's gonna be? But I don't see it with him, man. Like, but I also see the class and what's available, kind of like what B was saying, and based on what's available and the climate of how they even go about these draft process and stuff like that, that motherfucker's going top 10.
He's 100% going top 10, and that's actually the point I was trying to make. With the current state of the NBA draft, having these like super like opinionated positions about where somebody should go and what they're going to be is kind of ridiculous. Because look at the draft. Look at the quality of the players that are coming in these drafts in the first. Let's just look at the first round players from last season. Let's go to the 2024 NBA draft. Let's just look at the list. I'm just gonna pull it up real quick. Read some of it.
You want to know something funny? You want to know something funny?
What's up?
Speaking of sports, DJ Angelou going 6 to the Pistons.
Don't piss me off. Don't do that.
Don't piss him off. Don't do that.
Okay, look, last year's draft, we got Ricochet, Atlanta. He actually been pretty solid. First pick. Alex Sarbin, a solid pro. He's not nothing crazy, but he looks like he's on his way. Reed Shepard is in the G League. Can't get in the rotation in Houston. Stephen Cass was actually in the rotation in San Antonio. He's playing pretty well. Ryan Holland is in the rotation in Detroit. He's playing decent behind Asar Thompson. Tajon Salahoun, I don't know who that is. He's in Charlotte.
He ain't doing shit.
Kogain is in Portland. Kogain is playing reasonable. I think he's a solid rotation. I've only seen him play once. He played in that game. I don't know if y'all seen him more than I have, but I assume he's still in the rotation in Portland. I think that's a fair assumption. So actually, he's a decent. Oh no! Wait a minute. Oh, okay. So he's played 34 games. Okay, cool. All right, Rob Dillingham. I told y'all he sucked. I told y'all he was going to be trash. He's starting to find. I guess they trying to work him into the lineup now. I think.
I ain't saying Rob Dillingham trash.
A game or two where, he kind of scored 20 points. I think.
Man, come on, don't hit on the young bull, right? I told y'all he was going to be trash. So I told y'all.
Fuck you.
Now they played him in the last 5 or 6 games, and one of those games he scored 12 points. So they trying to work him in. Zach Edey, reasonable pro, going through growing pains, a little slow, but he's in the rotation. He's a contributor for his team. Cody Williams, Utah Jazz. I don't watch the Utah Jazz. Maybe y'all know. I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I do.
Nigga say he don't even watch the Jazz. That's crazy.
He can play the fool. Matis Bucelis actually plays in Chicago, so he's in the rotation.
That's the white boy, yeah?
Yeah, that's the white guy. He's in the dunk contest too. Nikolai Kopic. I don't know.
He got hurt before the year, so he ain't played.
He had a torn ACL coming into the draft. He's out for the season.
Devin Carter in Sacramento.
He barely plays.
Barely plays, yeah.
And he needs to shave his hair.
What's his hair got to do with anything?
Bub Carrington is in Washington. He's been reasonable. I don't know if he kind of started hot. I don't know if he's still playing well. I haven't watched him in a few months actually. Let me look.
I just want to say something, Cody Williams. I want to say something about Cody Williams.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, he has played 26 games. He's played 21 minutes a game. He's averaging 3, 2, and 1. He should have stayed.
Bro thought he was his brother, which is you don't have the body type.
Growing pains, bro. It's Utah, nigga. Growing pains.
We all like Khalil Ware. We think he got a bright future.
I love Khalil Ware.
15, 16, 17 was all value. Khalil Ware, Jared McCain went 16 to Philly, and then Dalton Connect went 17 to the Lakers. Those are all rotation guys who play meaningful minutes. Tristan De Silva. I actually seen him play a couple times. I think he's okay. I don't really know much about him. I don't have a strong opinion about him. Jacoby Walter. I don't know much about him. I don't know much about Jacoby.
Damn, Ray. Who the fuck do you know?
I don't know if y'all know about him.
And you see why this is a problem, and the reason why Ray. You're saying you don't know much about these
guys? Because Ray don't watch them.
Prep school shit. I feel like we don't know about these cats like we once did. We used to be knowing these motherfuckers from freshman year.
Maybe, but he played at. I know. But it's more about. Jacoby played at Baylor. I remember Jacoby at Baylor. I just don't remember. I don't know what he's doing in the pros. I'm looking at it now. He's played 27 games for Toronto, and he appears to be in the rotation because he's playing at least 20 minutes every night. He's not playing.
I just want to tell y'all that for the NBA rookie rankings, they have Stephen Castle #1, Jalen Wells #2,
Okay.
Alex Saul #3, Zach Edey 4, Yves Messi #5.
You said Jalen Wells at 2.
Crazy that Khalil Ware's not even on this system, dog. Congrats.
He's averaging 11, 3, and 1. 11, 3, and 2. And he was the 39th.
Connector Khalil Ware for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he was the 39th.
But let's also be clear about that. Jalen Wells' opportunity, right? He plays in Memphis. And so, he's been given the opportunity to be a contributor because they need him. They need him to be a contributor.
And then the next 5 is Khalil Ware, Tristan DeSilva, Bud Carrington, Zakia Rissier, and Donovan Cleveland.
That's not a bad 10. Those 10 good players.
Yeah, I think Khalil's gonna climb up that chart a little more.
That's 10.
Khalil is nice. He's nice. That kid can play.
That's good value. But my issue more is about this conversation about it's so speculative, right? Like Raymond just named 3 players in a row, 15, 16, 17. None of them that literally don't play. I said, but my point is, none of them are lottery. None of them were lottery picks. But they're some of the biggest contributors to the rookie class. And part of what I'm arguing is that there's too much focus on measurements and these measurables. You know what I'm saying? Like physical measurements and physical measurables, and less focus on. Like I said, like Connect, we say, well, he can play. Edey, we say, well, he could play. Or like Carrington, these guys.
What the problem is, we don't know. It's analytic based now, and they not taking into account what these dudes are doing on the court. So when they picking their teams, they're like, oh, well, he fits this mold, and we can use him this way. But if you don't see him play on the court and see if he can do it consistently, it don't matter. Lee Shepard should have never went to me.
And Cody, the Williams kid,
he wanted to say this.
So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Now that I'm looking at this draft, these kids actually aren't. A lot of these kids are actually contributing. Reed Shepard is by far the worst pick in the top 12. If you look at this,
look at one Stephen Castle and they're fine.
So I'm looking at this, guys. Ricochet, Sarr, Castle, Holland, Clegane, Dillingham. Wow. So the two worst picks in the top 10 were Calipari guards.
I told you that he was going to be some trash.
No, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you look at the top 10, you can argue that the 2 worst picks in the top 10 were the Calipari players.
Undersized guards too.
That's interesting.
Something he normally don't work. He don't normally like undersized guard.
That's interesting. I didn't notice that. That's interesting. I got to think about that one.
Oh, you know what? We went there, and Isaiah Collier's in Utah getting minutes, bro. Minutes. That shit crazy.
Look at Utah guard.
Like something out there. They just throw out makeshift lineups every damn night.
I was about to say, I don't know if that's accurate flexing because Utah just doing whatever. It's kind of silly.
What can we do to tank tonight?
Yeah, it's a little weird out there.
I will say this though, Nino, that you talk about a value trade for the Lakers. They should try to get that dude from the 76ers. Bona.
You talking about that power forward dude?
Yeah, we can use him.
Sure, I'll give up some second round pick.
And for perspective,
that would be actually a pickup for the Lakers.
Yeah. I ain't think he was gonna be that good though. I knew he dunked on LeBron or whatever. I'm like, they just making a splash, but he actually.
You're talking about Yahoo Sale?
No, I'm talking about Adam Bona, not that dude.
Oh, who you talking about? What's his name again?
I'm talking about the dude, Adam Bona. He went second round.
You're talking about Ricky. I don't know Ricky's on the center.
Yeah, we can use him.
Yeah, but what I was going to say in response to Wolf is that, following up B's comment, Collar, I think he played 27 games, he played 21 minutes per. He's shooting 37% and 21% from 3 on 5 points per game. So they're tanking. They're he's just out there basically. He's not really doing anything. He's just out there.
Those are Bronny James Jr. numbers.
I'm about to say everybody crapping on Bronny and Collier. He played that some Bronny type numbers in
No. You know this is what I'm saying. The shooting percentages you just said are what those are the shooting percentages that Bronny had.
Bronny is not shooting 20% in the G League. Stop.
Yes, he is.
It's either 30 or 20. It's one of it.
No, it's not.
It's not good.
Wait, no, slow down. He's shooting like 1% in the NBA. I'm talking about in the G League, he's shooting 37% from the floor, 21% from three, and 65% from the line. Look it up.
You're gonna have to tell me those stats.
I swear to God, it's on GLeague.com. I was just looking at that shit the other day.
Yeah, that's no G League shit.
So this is my question. So what league of basketball do y'all think the G League is comparable to? Like college, NAIA, D2, D2, overseas? I don't know, bro.
I would say like a B League, Euro League.
You ain't saying this the motherfucking
Euro League has some
like the Puerto G League.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I said like a B League. I said like the B League.
I honestly, I don't know this because I haven't seen all the leagues that's out there, but I will say that they look like glorified pickup.
That shit is like Drew League to me. That shit looks like Drew League to me.
Glorified pickup, man. I don't know if that's like every night, but it's looking pretty bad though.
And the reason why is because I'm thinking like, remember there used to be actual call-ups in the G League. Now who the hell gets called up from the G League these days?
They don't call them.
They don't call up no one no more. They just send the weight down there.
No. They sign you to a 2-way deal, and then they just send you up and back as they choose. They don't do 10 days anymore. Players just get signed their future reserve contracts.
Yeah, that 10-day shit, they stopped that.
So nobody ever calls them up once.
They don't even do them shit.
What I'm hearing is that the NBA got a development problem because they do. They always have. Where are you going to carve out space to get these players to develop, other than putting them on the court and just letting them play bad? Everybody playing on the same team in all these random leagues that ain't nobody heard about. They all playing on the same team. They think they nice. They get to the next level and they don't have that safety blanket. And now they got to fend for themselves. And they think they better than what they are. It's a problem. I told you it started at the level.
You know, this and this crazy because that high school rule that actually in turn did what they were trying to avoid. Like they thought taking all these kids out of high school is make the league is actually getting younger because these kids are.
So look, are y'all saying y'all would? So y'all saying y'all would up the age?
Nah, I'd bring high school back. I would up the pro back.
Hell no.
Bring prep to pro back because then the guys
absolutely not.
These niggas ain't ready, bro.
Nah, the guys.
Who was the last freshman where you was? And that's serious.
You have certain freshmen. You got guys like
I would say the only
guys like AJ that do not need
the only guys I think that would actually been able to do it is Zion, Ben Simmons.
My thing is, back in the day, you had guys try, right? You had guys try and they flamed out. That's cool, but at least the dudes that went to college stayed in college. They didn't rush.
I think
they stayed for like 2-3 years.
I think they should adopt like what the F1 pro like what Formula One does for young kids trying to get licenses. Right? You have to acquire a super license. So in basketball, what that would mean is there's 5 spots for every draft for a guy to come prep to pro. Right? But it's weighted based off what you've done in AAU in high school or what teams you played against in the grading. And then it goes from there. If you don't qualify, you go to college. That's what it should be.
And that's the thing. Like, so let me ask you. If the prep to pro is in, does Cooper Flag go to Duke?
I don't think he even shit on it.
No, Cooper Flag probably. No, he probably doesn't. But he's in the league. He's in the league right now.
But what about AJ? You know AJ wouldn't be at BYU. What about the Boozer boys?
Them niggas look good.
The reason I asked,
the Boozers would both the point guard would definitely be in college. And honestly, I think the big fella would be in college.
Yeah, they'd be in college. What I was going to say is that that's tricky, right? Because guards, like when you look at the history of guards coming into the league without a college background, it's like really horrible, right? So you know. But it would be shot out based off who you playing. So if you ain't playing nobody,
and you putting up all these crazy numbers against teams that ain't even ranked, you wouldn't make the grade.
Shit, Brandon Jennings went. I don't know who said it, but Brandon Jennings went to go see some pros though before he got to the league.
Nah, he needed college. He didn't take it to Arizona.
Sebastian Telfair needed it too. They both needed it. He saw pros. His brother.
Jennings went to Arizona. He'll still be in the NBA. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If he go to Arizona, he probably became a legend.
Well, I mean, he still would have tore his Achilles, so who's to say that?
Okay, well, injury. You're right. Injuries. You're right.
But if he went to Arizona,
Maybe not. Maybe that strength and conditioning program like different now.
I mean, you're right. You're
yeah, but your Achilles is kind of it's gonna happen type thing.
if Brandon Jennings went to college, he would had an all-star career, bro. He would have been an all-star.
So right. The question, because you just made that Achilles comment, are you of the belief when it comes to these injuries that like they inevitable?
Some of them are. It depends on what it is. Like I heard y'all with the back thing with Michael Porter, right?
Yeah, I feel like backs aren't.
That's probably a degenerative type thing. So he probably would have had that no matter what he did. But it does play a part in his development as a player because he isn't putting the ball on the deck and attacking the basket, and that's that back and that's to be expected. I mean, with a hole in your back, it's kind of tough because you're affecting your hips, you're affecting your balance, you're affecting a lot of things. So. Yeah, I think that's a degenerative thing. That's something that was going to happen to him no matter what he played, or how he trained, or what he did.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think injuries can be inevitable depending on the player we talking about. Because I know when Zion was coming away, I didn't even have to second guess. I'm like, that nigga's going to be hurt. Like, you could just...
You could tell. Because his body type, you could just tell.
Yeah, I had the same thing about Derrick Rose when he was young because his upper body was so big and he was so how he make all them hard cuts and everything.
I mean, Zion was kind of destined to be injured because look at his gait, look at the way he walked, look at the way he played. Look at his weight. Look at the way his body.
Look, we all thought the same thing when we saw him. We all thought Larry Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Kind of like have injury problems because I've never seen this shit happen. That nigga did a defensive slide and his shoe busted. I'm like, whoa, nigga, like, yeah, you putting too much weight on the ground, bro. Like, this nigga's shoe just ripped off his foot, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, like, nah, you need to lose weight, bro. Your fucking shoe just bust off your foot, bro. Like, wow.
Like I like the kid in Maryland, but I wouldn't touch the big fella.
Oh, Derrick? I wasn't worried about him because he kind of getting like the Zach Randolph, like he playing for.
I'm gonna give you the truth. Because I've been watching him closely. It's gonna be a motor issue. He's gonna be the type of guy that don't play a lot because he don't work hard. And I ain't talking about just fitness. I'm talking about just like desire.
You think he's too cool?
I just don't think he's doing it. I don't think he won it.
The NBA.
Man, you can't be a big being too cool. That shit don't even sound right.
He's cool. I see that in him a little bit.
When I saw him on the court with a flag and Parker and all that,
He was we talk about being a hooper. He was like he was the best hooper. Like he just got like natural game. Like he just got like natural game. Total basketball game.
Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with being a pro.
I know. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that it's a shame because he's like a natural hooper.
He's not gonna last because maybe I'm wrong, but he seemed like I think right is right. Right is right. That's funny, but I think he's right. The kid don't work hard.
I told you. Let me know the last time you seen a fat NBA player make it and play more than 6 years. Zebo in the last two.
Joel Embiid.
Say everybody
one
says
player.
Zebo.
That's one player.
Zebo.
How many years?
Joel Embiid.
Very strong. Though.
And he also got his win after he got moved.
Well, I guess my question.
Well, shit, Luka finna be the next one, but continue.
That's true. He is a little out of shape.
Right. But you see how he rocking.
I'm sorry, fellas. I worked out. Rich was annoying me, but we're good now.
But yeah, Derek Queen.
I don't give a shit about you.
No fat NBA player. If I got to motivate you to lose weight to make $300 million, then there's a problem.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Ain't no shit can motivate you.
If all you gotta do is be in shape to make $300 million, that's
the starting thing. That's the starting thing about these young kids today. They know that these guys are getting $300 million. They know they're getting $250.
So like,
250.
if you can't get in shape off the prospect of getting $250,000,
50.
On top of knowing these guys, some of them knowing these guys and having some of the same resources
and being better than some of them. You don't play some of these guys. You don't play some of them. I mean, B. I know you injured. If I told you, hey man, you get to your optimal, if I give you $250,000 now. Bro,
getting below it. Getting below it.
What? Come on, man. Listen, I'll come out of retirement right now and run on one leg and get 250 legs. I'll try. But we got some more kids.
We talking about opportunities.
250.
If somebody's holding me right now, they'll sign me to play on the bench. I try to do it, and that's $1 million. I do it.
250.
Bro, them niggas, some of them niggas don't be caring, bro. Like, I've literally seen pros eating fast food, bro. No cap. Like, fast food, nigga, you got millions of dollars and you eating Wendy's, bro. Like,
Rose was saying that shit too, talking about how he used to eat before the games and shit in Memphis. He's still in Memphis. He like, yeah, I eat sour, something about sour something before every game. Yeah, D-Roll.
Yeah, but he was in Memphis, so that was after his career was pretty much done, so he wasn't tripping.
No, Memphis is not Memphis.
Like, now, I see the bad diet, bro. That shit don't even make sense to me. Like, you in the league, you cannot have a bad diet, bro.
Oh, yeah, I have a chef all day.
Chef everywhere. Like, these niggas take their homies and groupies and shit. Nigga, take your chef with you, nigga.
Hey, actually, you know what's funny? I always thought that too. Like, if you're gonna pay for guys, might as well just bring a chef and a barber. Make sure that shit.
Why the fuck would I bring my barber?
Hey, yo, my bad. I know I'm chiming on the topic, but I think that they just need to go ahead. I agree and let them come straight out of high school again, because none of these kids get the NIL budget. So it's kind of like an even playing field. You hoop in college and get NIL bread, or become a breakthrough player. Or shit, you come straight to the league. That's where I see it.
Yeah, but they don't want no more of those trash outs. That's why they're not doing it. They don't want no more of those guys that came into the league that wasn't and find out.
But see, that's the thing. What high school players were coming into the league that wasn't nice?
The guards.
A lot of them. What?
Also, you got Demar Johnson, Jonathan Bender. Yeah, high school though.
He did go to Cincinnati. He did go to
I'm trying to think. There's so many people to name, really. There's a lot of people to name.
The bag, we talking high school players.
I mean, fucking Livingston was alright this first, but he ain't come in
No.
Killer.
He was solid, he was nice. He got hurt. There's a difference.
That's what I said. He was solid, but even before he got hurt, though, right? He wasn't on no far trajectory. He was solid.
Okay, so I'm looking at the list.
Corey Young, he didn't do nothing.
Yeah. So he didn't do nothing. Wait, hold on, right? Let me kind of like start from the top, because I want to just provide more context for how we got here. So initially, right, they came out on fire, right? It was Daryl Dawkins in 75 and Bill Willoughby in 75. Then for 20 years, they weren't allowed. In 95, the first one, since Willoughby and Dawkins, was Kevin Garnett. The next two were Kobe Bryant and Jermaine O'Neal. The next one was Tracy McGrady, followed by Al Harrington, Rashard Lewis. But in that same draft, however, with Lewis and Harrington, was Colio and Youngster. The next year, Jonathan Bender, Leon Smith. The next year, Darius Miles, Deshaun Stevenson, Kwame Brown, Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry, Desanye Diop, Damon Cisse. People don't remember him. Then you had Amari. You had Amari LeBron. Then you had Travis Outlaw, Indy Ebby, Kirk, James Lang. Okay. Then you had Dwight Howard. And then after him, it was Livingston, Swift, Pelford, Jefferson, Josh Smith, J.R., Darrell Wright. Then you had from Seattle's own Martell Webster. Then you had
Martell came out of high school too?
Yep, he sure did.
Yes, he did.
Then you had Andrew Bynum, Gerald Green, C.J. Miles, Ricky Sanchez, Monta Ellis, Lou Will, Andre Bletch, and Amir Johnson. So basically what happened is they just got tired of it. Like them first 5 or 6 were like Hall of Fame caliber All-Star players, and after that, you started getting like barely rotation guys. And they just got tired of it.
NBA teams like, yo, man, send this nigga back to college, man.
Wait. 5 players after 1998, out of all those guys he just mentioned, made an All-NBA team. 5.
Yep. 5, yeah.
Out of all the
That's I'm not gonna lie. It's not even worth considering. That's a total waste of time and resources. They shouldn't be allowed to do
I think, but that's the thing. Like when I look at those drafts, when you had guys coming out of high school, I need to go look into like how many one and dones were coming out, because you had too many guys were staying in school longer in those drafts, and so I don't know. I wonder how, if it was to come back, would it affect the school in the sense of guys staying like that?
Well, so
they got NIL now. That's the only reason somebody would go back.
So what I thought about was actually I think it's more of a GM problem.
So what I thought about while I was reading this list.
No, my bad. I ain't mean to interject.
I don't think you can hear y'all. He's like going in and out. He's trying to talk, but it's like,
hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, it's just on a delay. That's
Julio Young and Leon Smith should be a trivia question. I'll tell you that right now, because nobody would get those.
People are hurting. I ain't never heard of them niggas before.
But you were a little younger to have heard of Young, though.
Right, yeah, you were a little younger.
I heard of him because he was a cautionary tale. People
Right. They say that, basically.
Yeah, so them guys like Leon, Jonathan, I remember them well because that's when that was when I was becoming like a.
I mean, a lot of y'all don't know because y'all were younger, but Bender was supposed to be like Durant. He was supposed to be like when Kevin Durant became, that's what Jonathan Bender was supposed to be.
And I know people like
I
them.
I remember East going out of high school. My brother used to kill that nigga, bro. Like,
He don't NBA.
yeah, my brother used to torture that nigga, dog, every time they played.
He was an All-American. He was a McDonald's All-American. He was a McDonald's All-American.
But he played 19 total games in the NBA too.
Yeah. Sure did.
But back in the day, we playing NBA Live. We scrolling through the damn teams. My brother seen that nigga. He said, "What nigga right there?" Sorry.
But you want to know something crazy? As much as we give all of these picks bad, right? As much as we talk bad about them, how many people played 10 years? Deshaun Watson did, Kwame did, Eddie Curry, I think, barely missed.
Oh, you can make a life for yourself for sure.
Yes, he
to get that pitch.
And this is why I was making a comment earlier. Remember when I said that we kind of overanalyzing a little bit, because just being a first round draft pick.
No, I get your point. My point is, I just like to have reasonable discussions. Like, it becomes so unreasonable. They was comparing Reed Shepherd to Chris Paul, man. Come on, man. Like, how is that reasonable? How is that even fair to him? I mean, I guess you say he get $20 million, so it's real fair to him. I'm just saying, that money too. But I'm just saying, like, at some point, these conversations become so unreasonable. That's all I'm trying to say.
I mean, you're not wrong, but again, it's like we kind of overthinking it a little bit. You know, that's just the way I feel about it.
When I ask y'all, so say it's your son, right? I know some of y'all actually gonna raise little hoopers because y'all, 6'5", 6'6". So it's your son. He's a top high school player. He going to the legit D1, and he got a chance to go pro. He's looking at potential lottery. So we're talking about anywhere from 10 to 20 million, 25 million.
It's gonna be more by then.
So by then it'll be probably 20 to 30 million. But you know the game, and so you thinking, damn, he might really play him out. This ain't the best move.
I'm getting there as fast as possible.
What you gonna tell your boy? Well, I know what you gonna do. But I'm gonna
because look, we gonna make money regardless. We just gotta get in the door.
But 100 money, we better go. We going. We leading. I don't care if you're good enough.
What's the thing? My point is, you're looking at a potential lottery pick. This is your son I'm talking about. This is your son. You know what I'm saying? And you're looking at anywhere from, by that point, you'd be probably 20 to 30 billion. High school or college freshman? He's a teacher. Well, he in college. He's a freshman. Now, here's the thing. You know the game. And you know there's a high chance that your son is going to flame out. He's not going to make it. He's 6'5", 6'6".
We're going to take that money, and we're going to put him.
We know you want the money.
We're going to have a financial literacy conversation. Because that $20 million cash going to generate you $500,000 a year in dividend payments. Okay.
Okay. It depends. It depends on what he's doing in college. It depends on what he's going to look like to me in college. He's nice. We going.
Because guess what? Look, I hear you. You got that chance, that quarter bill. I understand. But I can do a whole lot with that third.
Listen, I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. It's the difference, and that's why I mean to say a quarter, because it's like he can come out at 19 or 20.
Well, because you get the quarter on your second.
Maybe just wait. Right. You can come out 19 or 20. Now he might be out the league in a couple of years. It might be like Scoot Henderson. He might, not saying he's going to be out the league. I'm saying he might be out the league in 36 months, or at least deep on some bench like that, right? Or you can be like, and this would have been a better example if he didn't get injured, but like a Jay Ivey. Oh, a better example is like maybe Michael Porter, I think, maybe.
No, because some games. Pause.
Pritchard.
I'll give you an even better example, Richard. How about Brandon Knight? Now, if I told you that Brandon Knight made more money than Austin Rivers in his career, would you believe me?
Yeah, just because he signed that second contract.
No, because he was drafted high. Right.
Right. Where he was drafted. Where he was drafted.
But see, the goal is to make it to contract number 2. That's the
but my point is he made it to number 2. My point is, if you're telling me he's gonna be a top 10 pick, but he's not ready.
But I'm saying you got a high risk that he might not make it to contract number 2.
If you're a first rounder, you get 4 years off the gate, right?
I'm taking my chance.
In your 4th year is going to be a team.
What about you, B? Are you taking your chances?
You can hear me? Yeah, I'm taking my chances, man.
Taking my chances.
Yeah, it's funny because me and my dad had this conversation, right, like a couple months ago, and he was telling me, I was like, if I was nice as a freshman, I'm leaving. And my dad was like, no, you're not. I said, well, you tell me that stuff. You ain't going to be able to tell me nothing. I'm leaving.
So I'm nice. I'm going.
So
this happened. Well, you might know about this too. So. It was this guy that went to school down here. He ended up going to Oregon and named Damian Dotson, and he had a great first year. He goes back the second year. Some bullshit happens with some girl saying he did X, Y, and Z. It plummeted his draft stock. He had to go to U of H and play U of H for the rest of his college career, about 2 to 3 more years. And then as soon as he got to U of H, it came out that them girls lied on him. Now, that clearly don't got nothing to do with basketball, but so much shit can happen. When you have a good year in college on top of the other guys coming in, you should just...
I want to clarify. B, you said it has nothing to do with basketball. It has everything to do with basketball. Because that's a part of your risk assessment. Right? Yeah, because you go to a youthful environment.
Right? Yeah, no. Listen, the reason I'm putting out there is because... And the point is, he's not making it to. My point is, if your son is not making it to the next contract, that's the difference.
But I think the problem with your hypothetical is, if you look at the history of high draft picks, a lot of them do make it to the second contract. Now, it might not be life changing.
You're talking top 5. I'm saying, what if he going 13?
I make it 2. I don't think they make it through. I think that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Hey, listen. We talking about one of the most athletic players in the world right now. He on a 1-for-1 deal right now. He on a prove-it deal right now. Jalen Green.
That's a pretty damn good prove-it deal. Not gonna lie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they kind of negotiated that too. They wanted that.
Hey, listen, fellas, it's a hell of a deal. I'm taking it.
No, for sure. But my point is, he's also one of the most physically gifted players we've seen in the last 10 years.
Now you're pushing it.
He's extremely gifted. So I wonder too much on this.
I wonder if there's a stat on how many first round picks didn't make it to a second contract. I wonder if there's a way to look this up. I'm gonna try to find that.
I don't think stat news will have it.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody gonna have that.
Like when you get that opportunity, you never know if it's gonna come back again. Like
we're taking it. Look at this Harper kid. This kid was he hit 30 for like the first 3 games. He rolled his ankle. And we don't play. Like, we got to get out of here. Like, we're out of here.
Yeah, Harper just lost. In the last 3 weeks alone, he probably lost money. Anywhere from $5 to $10 million.
Yeah, you're probably going from like the second pick to like the 4th.
In the last 3 weeks.
Right. So it's like
Ace Bailey. I think a lot of draft boards have Ace Bailey going too now.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, you roll your ankle or you catch the flu and you out a week or two. Yeah, look what happened. It's like, nah, we got to get out of here, and we gonna put pressure on ourselves to perform once we get there. We gonna try to be professional.
The whole goal is to make it to that second contract. Once you make it to that second contract, you can trade me, everything, you can do whatever you want.
I agree.
But you
I
don't
agree.
pay me.
I
You
agree.
don't pay me to do so.
I agree. Richard understands that's the way of thinking. It's not.
No, for sure. I'm just curious because, okay, like I look at, and like I said, it ain't the best example because he got hurt, but before he got hurt, Jaden Ivey, his mother, he went back to school. I think he did 2 years, I think he did 2 years. But my point is, the boy was about to be rewarded with at least $150 million, maybe more.
And look what happened.
Yeah, we don't know no more, but that's a whole lot.
A lot of these things, people, a lot of endorsement deals come with that. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Endorsement deals, though. You know how the endorsement deals work. They 4 years, $6 million. They stretched out. They got a lot of provisions in there.
But you know what? That's okay. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, we're gonna take that guaranteed money and we're gonna put pressure on ourselves to maintain our professionalism and work hard and get to that second deal. That's what we're gonna do.
That's the whole thing. Yeah, that's the whole. I was on to that.
Look at these twins. Look at these two twins. That everybody keep talking about. Them boys had a rough year. The one boy got the blood clot issue, but guess what? They working their ass off, and now they both. Funny enough, both of them are in a position where if they keep doing what they're doing, they're gonna have some nice paydays for them in 2 years.
The real hurdle, if you're a first round pick in the NBA, is to make it to not your second contract. The first hurdle is to make it to the first 3 years, because the fourth year on a first round deal is always a team option. So I'm going to get picked up.
I'm going to tell you on why I'm throwing this hypothetical out there. and the reason is Jalen Brunson. So I've been thinking about this hypothetical situation. Jalen Brunson, I think he did 3 years at Villanova, right? Now, obviously, he's a very well-rounded guard. This kid is set to make, I think he already got the $200 million deal. He's looking at potentially getting another $200 million deal on the back end of this one, right? That's a 3-year guard in college compared to, I don't know, let's say Alonzo Ball. Now, I think he came in around $100. So he a little bit of the exception. But my point is, like, we actually see some of this play out in players that we're currently looking at. Like Jalen Brunson, he's on a pace to become the highest earning guard of his generation. In similar fashion as like Chris Paul. Brunson is already on the $200 million gig. So that's
New York, like playing for New York too. Like when he retires, it's gonna be so much business.
It's gonna be absurd for him because he's from the NBA. It's gonna be absurd for him. Yeah.
No, that's a little more involved. I'm just trying to put that juxtaposition of like we see a guy who's a 3-year player who's about to cash in crazy, and in the previous generation, the guy who cashed in the most was a 2-year college player, Chris Paul. Chris Paul made like $700 million. Something crazy like that.
And that
was made $113 million.
That goes back to what we say about
who is this?
Lonzo's made $113 already.
Really?
Yeah, he crossed.
He made $113.
Wow. See, that's what I'm saying. Getting drafted high is a big deal.
That just goes to say, like, y'all just highlighted something important again. When you take that time, like, everybody's not good. No, Trae Young is a special fucking player, bro. But the guards that take that time to learn the game, spend their time and go to school, spend their 2 years, 3 years there, bro, they pan out every time. It's the guards that ain't special. You know,
how much has CP3 made? How much has he made?
A little bit over 400.
Oh, 400 million. I thought
400 and a half almost.
400.
That's just NBA. That's just NBA.
That's not the state. That's not state.
He done made all type of money. He
was a 2-year player, though. That's true.
He did play 2 years. 2 years. And look, Jalen Brunson, if you look at his chart, he's already projecting 240 already. So if he gets one more deal, he's gonna get close to that. He's not even 30. He's not even 30.
Yeah, they say Chris Paul would get $8 million a year from State Farm.
That's not bad. Now the hard part is, what Ray said, the hard part is Maintain.
You gotta maintain your professionalism.
How do you become Chris Paul? Right? You gotta have the head on your shoulders. You gotta have crazy work ethic. You gotta be out the way.
Understand your place in this game. And, hey, if I'm not the guy, I'm gonna assimilate and do what I need to do to stay on this floor.
And the trick, man, exactly. The trick is to be professional. And this is why what's his name? Kenyon Martin. I like what he told, the way he was talking about his son.
About his son?
Yeah, because I can tell, he's, really active in, the day-to-day with his son. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really important. You know, I think it's really important. Because if you can do that, man, the NBA it can really be lucrative for your family.
And you also got to remember too, Keepin was a guy that tried to buck the system early in his career. He found out, okay, if I keep doing what I'm doing, they're gonna win me out this door. So maybe you chill out and just assimilate and do what I got to do to be on the floor.
So if I heard it, everybody said they coming out to draft.
Yeah, I'm going out.
I'm leaving too.
Yeah,
I'm leaving too. Yeah, for sure. Because the risk of the war.
You ain't gonna tell me I got an opportunity to be John Moran's dad, be on that sideline, and we finna pass that shit up.
I mean, but Brandon
Chris Paul dad too.
Brandon Knight. Well, Chris Paul, you sit there using the highest paid point guard probably ever in the history of the game. That's an anomaly. I'm just going to make a reasonable decision. Reasonableness is based on data, right? What's more likely to occur than not.
Let's switch it. Because we're talking about sensational. John Moran is sensational talent, right? Let's say let's say you don't have 40 inch
Tyus Jones.
Wait. We're gonna do it modern. Darius Aker. That boy, pure point guard, dribble, pass, shoot the whole night.
He needs to leave his face as soon as possible.
He don't jump out the gym.
He needs to leave. I don't care what your hypothetical is. He needs to leave as soon as he's able to.
He's saying 1 year at Arkansas, you out of there.
Brandon Knight was round one, the eighth. Again, I'm looking at Spot right now. It says 79. Okay, 79. He played 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's
I'm gonna just juxtapose this. Stephon Marbury, 1 year at Georgia Tech. Allen Iverson, 2 years at Georgetown.
I know, but the times are different now. You can't do that.
I'm just saying experience matters for guard. That's all I'm saying.
Ancient history, bro. Ancient history. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell my son the name of the game is to be Garrett Temple. Garrett Temple has made $53 million.
Right.
And if he walked in this room right now, nobody would know who he was.
Except for us.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of look at him like that's not like I don't really look at those athletes like they're the man, but he kind of killed it. He killed it like he killed it 14 years. The dude has never been particularly good. He got a picnic ball. He got a beauty queen, and like you said, he got anonymity. He got anonymity. Anywhere in this world, any club, any boat party, they don't even know who he is.
I'm gonna tell y'all who gets the biggest stain on the NBA. Otto Porter. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, he fleeced too. He got over too.
He got over, man. First off, didn't he go number 2 that year? He went number 2, I think.
I think he went like 4. He went like 3 or 4.
These are interesting discussions, and the reason I'm bringing this up too is because the way the game going now, those look like guys like us who a little more professional, a little more ambitious. Who know, okay, my kid got to go to this school and train with these people. And if they in them gyms, they gonna have a shot. They just got to be in those gyms when the other kids are there.
Listen, Otto Porter came into the league at 20. He left the league at 30. He walked out with 140.
Damn, bro. Damn.
He had 140 million.
So like I said, if it's my son and we have an opportunity, we're going to take that opportunity. We're going to take that opportunity and we're going to figure it out later.
You just have to be mature.
Who's another guy that walked out? What did Jabari walk out with?
I'm not entirely sure, but you can look it up on Spot, right?
Well, I don't know right now.
I just think when you look at the risk reward, time value, money.
Well, I think y'all all ignoring my main point, which is that your son is not ready.
Yeah, but again, but see, that's the thing. It's not a question of whether you're ready. remember, we're having a conversation. It's not about It's not about being competitive, right? It's about taking advantage of the opportunity while it's available, because it's not guaranteed to be available, right? You could roll an ankle. You could tear an ACL. Somebody could roll into your knee like this kid just did Jay Ivey 3 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden the max extension is gone. Right? These are the risks. Like what's the kid from Louisville? The boy was bad, man. Shooting guard. Kevin Ware. He broke his leg in the NCAA tournament. The kid was 1 or 2 games from being an NBA player. He never played basketball again. His leg split in half, bro.
You can look at it like this, right? Reed Shepherd, right? We talked about how Reed Shepherd ain't ready. Reed Shepherd don't look like a pro. By the time Reed Shepherd's deal is up, he would have made $32 million.
So guess what? So guess what? Yeah, I'm going to the G League to shoot 50 shots a game. Because guess what? My cash is guaranteed because I was a high draft pick.
But that's the thing, though, right? That's the thing that we ain't discussing, right? Now that's 3 years. He signed a 5-year deal. 5-year deal. Two of those years, 2026 and 2027, are team options at $11 million and $14 million. So if he he's gonna walk out with $60 million
exactly
before he done.
This is what I'm saying. You have to take advantage of the opportunity when it's available. Time value, money, cash in the door is always going to be more valuable than cash deferred. Always.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that chance. I'm gonna take that chance.
I was just wondering.
Let me look and see.
No, because you're trying to apply your corporate.
No. What I'm saying is, like, for example, y'all know my second favorite player is Chris Paul, right? He could have came out his first year. He did.
He's literally the highest earning point guard probably in the history of basketball.
Oh, for sure.
You can't use the most extreme example. Like, he's the most extreme.
Yeah, but this current generation has a version of that, which is Jalen Brunson.
Maybe it looks like there's a chance. Maybe. I mean, Curry was also a 2-year player.
Curry was actually another example. He played 3 years. He didn't.
Curry was actually a 3-year player. That's right.
Right.
And so actually, I'm wrong, because if we're calling him a point guard, then he would be the highest earning point guard in history.
Right. Curry would be. So my point is, and that's an even better example than Chris Paul. My point is, the evidence is there on these guards. Like, the ones that play 2-3 years, they turn out better.
Now, let me ask you this question. All right, and I'm just looking up a player. So I looked at the 30th pick in last year's draft, Baylor Scheiderman. His contract, if he was to never get picked up again, he would have made $6 million over 2 years. Would you go if you were projected to go 30?
Oh, that's tough.
That's tough one.
That's tough one. That's not
over how many years?
So he signed a 4-year deal worth $12 million with 5.1 guaranteed. There's a club option on 2026 and 2027.
Okay, so is the analysis?
So you said $3 million a year, 5 guaranteed.
Yeah, five guaranteed. 5 guaranteed. No, 5 guaranteed is all the money he gets in his first 2 years. That's what they talking when they talking guaranteed. But the last 2 years of his deal are club options. So if they say no, then you don't get nothing.
Yeah, I can't. No, we going back to school.
I think I might roll the dice.
You're talking going
okay, look. So okay. Let me clarify. You're asking me, and hold on.
Yeah, would you tell your kids to go before? I don't know about talking crazy.
I know everybody here. I don't know Xavier, but I know everybody else. We got. I guess I'll put it like this, just to be more discreet. For me, we would go back to school. For me.
Yeah, I get why you're saying that. And
because for us, that's not going to be transformative.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Yeah, that's not enough. We're going to take our chance and go back to school.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of like, if you ain't projected top 15, it's kind of looking at the situation. But
it depends on where you're situated.
Yeah, I also think if you're not top 15, I need to see those teams from 16 to 30, because now it becomes, what team would I be going to? Because where you go, because if you end up in Charlotte, the chances of you getting a second contract are pretty low.
Well, so that's another great. Okay, so that's another layer of analysis, right? Like, where you go dictates the likelihood of having that opportunity. So that's another scary question, and you can't really see that on the front end. You can't see it on the front end. That's a back end issue. So I don't know.
Yeah, you look at a guy like JT Thor, right? JT Thor, he went to Charlotte, right? He made $5 million in 3 years, and now he plays JT Thor right now. He playing center, buried on the bench. He playing buried on the bench.
Obviously, it's the more. It's like it's a lot that goes into it, right? Because if we say, okay, like y'all cats have those enemies 6'5", 6'6", y'all sons are probably going to be somewhere around y'all height. So now you talking about they probably been in the game since what, 3, 4 years old. They've been AAU since they was what, 5, 6, 7 years old. So how many thousands of years you done spent? I mean, by the time you get to the end of the process, you probably done spent $500,000. You spent at least $500,000. Something a few $100,000. You spent at least $300,000-$500,000 on your basketball team, right? That's over the course of the career, and it's like, and it is a career. I mean, we could say it's a kid's game, but y'all know how it is. It's business, so it's like that's a career. And now you in this situation where it's like, well, you could just make that move. You know,
and I want to clarify for people listening, when we say $300,000-$400,000, we're talking about is the cost of travel.
I'm talking about hotels, camps,
all that. It's very expensive.
Not to mention the way the game going. We're talking prep school. So we're talking plane tickets during the year. We're talking about flights for the family because we got into the game.
Before I got on the sponsor team, my mom and dad were paying $1,000 a month for me to play for a team. Before I got on the sponsored team,
I mean, right? Think about it. It ain't no more. We go to the local high school and the little Catholic league. No. You got to go to the Nike school, the Adidas, the Puma. You gotta be in the league. You got to be in the league when you in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that could be part of the problem with a lot of these kids is rushing the process because they thinking about, I got to make this back up to my parents.
Another issue that I'm seeing, I had a conversation with a young man recently in this situation, and the NIL conversation is putting a lot of pressure on these kids mentally. You know, they feel like what they're being paid is a reflection of how the teams feel about them, right? Which is why, like, it's kind of, it's just a weird place to be, right? If a guy knows that the guy next to me is making $100,000 more than me, or these are the types of conversations that are starting to be had, and that's just a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, it's a very.
What were you about to say? What you about to say something in reaction to that comment about when I said that they got to be in the league before they in the league? What were you about to say? Or maybe you busy. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, if my son is good enough and he's tall enough, I know I'm gonna spend the money. I'm gonna give him this chance. Like, hey, go ahead and do your thing, man. See what you can do with it. See if you can do more than I did with it.
Yeah, I'd have to talk at liberty with an agent. I need some guarantees. But what I would do too, like say my son was guaranteed top 15, I would also take an insurance policy out on that too. I would be looking to take some insurance out on that if he's home.
Are you planning? I know you date talking, right? So like, are you planning to do the whole AU dad thing, spend the money, travel the
absolutely.
Okay.
But I also would really honestly sit down and have a conversation with my kids. Because if this ain't something you want to do or you believe that you want to do, ain't no point. We ain't gonna waste our time. We can go ahead and get you some programs, some STEM programs that help you learn something. I'm not gonna waste my time. Because I saw my dad do it with my youngest brother with football, and I'm like, this kid don't want to play no football. Why are we spending all this money? So it's kind of one of them, you gotta have that real conversation, But I also don't believe in putting the ball, like, I'm not gonna force my kid to play no sports. If they don't want to play sports, that's what it is, because if you don't believe in it, then it ain't no point in me believing.
Yeah, it's definitely not gonna happen for you.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, if you don't believe it, then it ain't gonna happen. So I think that's just a conversation to have.
Where you got these parents, these fathers who failed at whatever sport.
Yeah, they living through their kids.
Yeah, they trying to live with their kids. And I'll be at these tournaments and these games sometimes. I'm like, man, this little nigga can't wait to leave here and play Fortnite, bro. He's not want to play this.
If my son don't want to be a lawyer like me, I'm gonna be sad. To be honest, I'm just telling
you. Seeing my dad do, because remember, me and my brother played football a couple of years. I never played football. My dad is a football guy. He went to Alabama, played football, right? Seeing my dad do it with my youngest brother was some of the saddest stuff I've ever seen, because he wanted so bad for my brother, and I clearly as day saw it. He don't want it for himself, so you wasting your time.
Yeah,
My brother in high school right now, he ain't even tried out for the team. He a junior. He ain't tried out for the football team since he stopped playing. He hasn't picked up a football. He hasn't picked up a football since he stopped playing football when he was in the 6th grade.
And your dad tried to put it on him when he was younger?
Yeah, my dad was coaching. He was driving all the way to San Francisco from our house, which is from my mom's house, which is like an hour one way to go to Overdrive. It's a waste of time. This kid don't want to play no ball. He didn't have to wake me up to make me go play basketball. I wouldn't play it on my own.
No, I think who was that? Was it Dion's? No, that was Amara St. John Father. He said I never had to. They never asked me to work out. Or no, I think he said he never had to ask them.
No. He said they didn't have a choice. He said he basically said like it was a part of their routine. They just went. Yeah, that's what they did.
But no, but see, that's what I'm trying to say, right? Like I got what I took from that is that they wanted to do it because it had become a part of who they were. Is what I'm saying.
Right. He said they probably asked only like twice. Other than that, they just went. Everybody.
This is what I'm trying to say. So my whole thing with the athletics thing is like, are the kids like, are they self motivated? Because like I don't understand parents trying to get kids to do sports if they're not motivated. Like I don't really understand that. Yeah. Like my mother, like me and Richard, like we was and I wasn't even that good, bro. I was trying to find a basketball rim in the court or whatever everywhere I went.
So I didn't know.
But guess what?
I played basketball on my own.
But I had friends like who were much better than me, and they didn't think like that at all. Like they wanted to play NBA Live or like shoot dice or
I'm not gonna lie. When we used to go to the AAU practices on the west side, me and Randy used to catch the bus from deep east Detroit 6 mile all the way to deep west side into the city to hoop. And I remember we told a couple of our AAU teammates like how far we had to go, like catch the bus to go to practice. And they was like, I would never do it. Like they just didn't want to play basketball that much. That they wouldn't want to travel across the city to hoop.
Yeah, bro, when I was younger, dog, I used to go outside and literally hoop in 100-degree weather, bro. I'd be on the court by myself just shooting, working on my game. Niggas would be looking at me crazy, like, bro, I would never do no shit like that.
But see what I realized, like, when I realized, I used to think it was something unique about the game. Like, oh, I'm very passionate about this game. No. What I realize now in my mid-30s is, no, that's just who I am. Whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm just going to work hard at it. It wasn't anything special about basketball. It wasn't anything special about anything. I'm just a hard worker. It's just my personality. And so once you started to realize that, and remember yesterday we were talking about the guy with the dunking, the gender reveal thing. The point I was making was like, this is one of them guys who he articulates him, like he talks about the game in such a way that's like he's like a super fan, right? Like the game is a part of his identity. Right, and we know people that act like that, right? For us, I'm gonna be real with y'all. The only time I talk about sports is with y'all. I don't talk about sports. Yeah, I don't talk about sports around people. Actually, like my lady knows I play, but she don't know that I played as much as I did. She doesn't know that I have that history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know my ex-girl, she didn't even know I could dribble until I took her to the court. She was like, "Damn, you can play basketball."
So my point is like. Going back to like how you raise your kids, I think you need to be able to identify who your child is. Like, is this kid a hard worker or not? Like, because people try to say it's passion, but I feel like there are certain type of people, like whatever they put their mind to, they just like work at, like they just work hard at it no matter what it is. Because that's how we were, and I'm pretty sure y'all are the same. I mean, I've heard you talk about your business, Wolf. I think we're just like the type of people that like we just work hard naturally. Whatever it is we're doing, we're just gonna work hard at it. I think it's more of a personality thing.
That's absolutely true, bro. Because like once I stopped hooping, anything I was doing, like bro, any job I've had, like I always bust my ass at the jobs, bro. That's just kind of who I am, bro. So you definitely right about that.
For sure, I'm telling you, bro. Because like when I was a teacher,
sometimes it's not hard work. Sometimes it's like what you want, right? Like I know people. Like I got relatives. They're not hard workers, but they want material things. So they will work as hard as they have to work to get the material things they want.
I was just about to say, that's me all the way. That's me all the way.
Yeah, it's like if you say just work, they're like, what? But if you put something in front of them and say, if you make this or if you obtain this, you can get that, Oh, they all over that shit immediately. They like, man it up. I'm with it. What I got to do? That's me. Listen, hey, you want? I like nice stuff, so I got to work hard to get it.
Like, I'm gonna tell y'all a real story, right? I got hired at Popeyes. I told y'all I worked at Popeyes. That was my first job where I got paid taxes, right? And I was that
wasn't your actual first job, but I hear you though.
No, I said where I paid taxes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we paid taxes. We didn't pay taxes on the other jobs, but my point is, I paid taxes at Popeyes, right? But I worked so hard, and Richard is my witness. This is a true story. I when I got there, they paid me a dishwasher, right? And you work in the back, you don't work in the front. I was working so hard that I was finishing all the work for the shift in 3 hours, and I hated working there. So I would go to Popeyes at 4 o'clock and leave at 7:30, like 80% of my shifts, because I was always doing my work in 3 hours. I got so good at it that they actually changed the work schedule, and they made everybody else do the work in 3 hours because they realized that I could do it in 3 hours. but it just speaks to my personality. Like, and Richard is my witness. They were calling his store. They changed the operation at his store because of how hard I was working at my store. This is a true story. No,
it happened. Yeah.
And it was funny because I just took the job serious. Like, oh, all I gotta do is wash dishes and season chicken and mop the floors. Like, that's it. Oh, man, let me knock this up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just trying to leave the store. I just wanted to work hard, leave, and go hang out.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I remember I got the job. So we didn't work at the same store. I was working at the Popeyes on Warren and Connor on the east side. And bro, now, you in high school, you only supposed to work so many hours. You're supposed to be I think it's like a 20-hour limit. Bro, I was working like 35, 36 hours a week, man. Because when I got in there, I just started doing everything, do everything. And the manager was like, you know what? We're about to change the schedule. Next thing you know, I'm opening the Popeyes on the weekends. They basically gave me a manager schedule, and I was in high school, and me and Reagan grew up poor, right? So we started jumping fresh in school, but they didn't know I was basically working 40 hours a week, damn near, when I was in high school, because I would open up the store, go home, and then come back to the store and then work until 5, 6. So I was working 8, 9 hour shifts. You know what I'm saying? Every day I had available. You know what I'm saying? But I was just trying to get to it,
Yeah, so I think it's a personality thing a lot of times. Like when you talk about athletics, some of these kids, man, they just workaholics by nature. I don't think you can trick a kid into being a hard worker. I think it just has to be in you.
Gotta be in you, and it can be an upbringing thing too. And I think that's a good thing. That's one of the things, if you talk to fathers and stuff like that, a father kind of understands that, and they'll put you through those rites of passage a lot of times. Look at the Ball Brothers, for instance. I don't even go with the Ball Brothers. Look what Ron Harper is doing with Dylan right now. That whole situation. You can tell they work hard as fuck. You know what I mean? It's just, that shit is gonna surface.
Yeah, but I think that's an excellent point, right? Because it's him and his brother both play basketball, the older brother. I'm sure Ron taught the older brother the same thing he taught the younger kid, right? But the young boy, I don't know. Maybe he worked harder than his older brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just think it's that sort of thing. Some kids are just a little different. And don't get me wrong, they both became NBA players, but the young brother is clearly better than the older brother.
He's one.
Who are we talking about?
The Harper kid.
Okay.
I also think it's knowledge. It's you gain knowledge about how to do it. I always thought Lonzo is the most mature, and he has the best head for the. But LaMelo is better than Lonzo. He's naturally more gifted. He can do more. Even though I don't think he's overall a better player pre-injury, I think I still would prefer Lonzo. But I do think knowledge and experience play a role. You got more information about how to make them good or how to make them stand out a couple years down the line.
I was going to say the thing with LeVar, I really think, I don't know what he was doing with Lonzo, but it's Lonzo got a different brain than LaMelo got. But with LaMelo being under his older brothers, even playing on the high school team with him, you would think he the smartest one. He should be the smartest one. Nigga, you seen everything your brothers did, you feel me, and all the mistakes they made, you should be able to learn from it. But it's just like he had the fucking green light since he was in 7th grade. My niggas just out there shot checking. That's how he got the 90-point game. Okay?
A lot of them father-son dynamics, and like my pops used to do this shit with me and my brothers, but like if you don't like with my dad's kids, I'm the second oldest, and his oldest son he don't fuck with my dad, so I'm basically the oldest, and my dad will put me in charge of everything. So it's like I was in turn, I'm way more responsible than my brothers. I'm way more mature than them niggas. I could tell LeVar was kind of doing that with Lonzo, where he had him kind of being the leader of his brothers. There was times where I would get my ass whooped for shit my brothers did. So like I could tell LeVar raised Lonzo like that, and that's why he's a lot different than them other niggas.
Hey, I'm putting the laughing faces because my brother is 8 years older than me, nigga. So you have no idea how many times.
Oh, y'all not the oldest?
Nah, my brother though.
Me and Ray are.
Yeah, y'all the oldest. Yeah, because y'all.
But I used to. It's funny. I'm laughing. I wasn't laughing at him. I'm laughing with him because I used to take whoopings from my baby brothers too, and I look back at it like I don't know why I did.
In the world, bro. And he's like, you don't make ass, not me. Like the fuck, I can't tell them. And then the fucked up part is they're not gonna listen to you, bro. Like my brothers ain't gonna listen to me.
What's crazy was it's the same little brothers, the main ones. They, you know what? I ain't gonna say it on the space because we don't know who's listening, but. Let's just say they don't remember none of that shit. They don't remember none of that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm the oldest, right? Out of all my brothers, I'm the oldest. And like, at one time, I used to resent my parents because everything I did, bro, was like 10 times worse than my little brothers, right? But then when I got older, I realized they kind of told me like, we didn't really have to monitor you as much because we knew you was gonna do what you was supposed to do. But my younger brothers was running. They did whatever they wanted. They ran wild. So it took me a minute to get older to figure it out. But, being the oldest, man, especially as a parent, you got to keep in mind a lot of them people, they don't have great examples because a lot of us, sadly, come from broken homes. So they don't have a good example. So they learn it on the fly. And then they make adjustments with the youngest one.
Well, it ain't the broken home. I don't know why I gotta keep saying this, man. If you got the wrong father in the crib, that's just as bad as.
Oh yeah, I mean that's too. Yeah, that's just as bad. Yeah,
I think it's really.
Ain't nothing like having a bad example.
Yeah, I think people try to standardize it, and maybe I'm a little biased because like obviously we didn't have our father was there. We didn't have a father. But I just seen so many people.
Yeah, but we were also the most mature dudes.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
I seen so many of my guys, not my younger, my guys in the neighborhood. Their fathers were, and I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. They just wasn't like solid, or they wasn't ambitious, or they just started doing whatever. And cats is looking at their pops like, oh, I'm gonna be like my pops. And it's like, you can't tell your homeboy like, bro, you don't want to be like your pops. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm gonna tell you, I had a conversation with a friend about this recently. We were talking about parenting and ambition and can you instill it in a child, right? And the thing that she had to help me understand is that because Rich and I have very strong beliefs about how you nurture academic excellence and all this other stuff, right? But we don't have children. But her point was like, it's hard to tell people that their parents are wrong, right? If I'm friends with you, or if I'm dating you and we're in a relationship together, and I'm sitting there saying like, no, that's a bad idea. You should do it this way. But their parents is telling them one thing, or if they feel like they grew up middle class or upper middle class and they saw it one way, it's very hard to convince that person that what their parents told them is flawed. And Rich and I are notorious for that. Like, oh no, that's wrong. You should do it this way, or you're going to get a better result if you do X, right? But it's hard for people to say, you know what? My parents don't know what they're talking about. Whereas for us, was 6, she started working when I was 13. It's very easy for me to be like, that's wrong, do it this way. I never had a problem acknowledging that an adult or somebody of superior, like of authority, was flawed. Whereas, she was breaking down the psychology of having a strong relationship with a parent. And when she broke it down for me, I was like, wow, that's deep, because I never thought about life that way. But she's like, yeah, like my parents, this particular woman, her parents were attorneys and everything like that. But, we were having a conversation about like ambition, right? And, I don't want to get too crazy on it, but my point was that was like, she was basically acknowledging like, yeah, I wish I would have did things a little differently, but this is what my parents told me to do, and it worked to an extent. but it wasn't as dynamic as it could have been. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've told y'all before, my father was, I tell people all the time, my father was the great example of what not to do for a lot of shit. Like growing up and just the way I approach conversations and conflict and stuff like that. As I got older, I realized, yeah, what he did, I'm not going to do. Like, and so I look at it kind of like he, by and part, him being who he was, kind of laid a template of what I wouldn't do, right?
But I think
my brother.
You're unique. You're unique in that because you're willing to say that publicly and openly. Whereas, like, I think you're like Rich and I, because Rich and I talk about our poverty and childhood openly, very comfortable, very comfortably. You talk about your challenges with your father very comfortably. I think a lot of people are uncomfortable having those conversations publicly, for various reasons, Yeah,
and it's funny because I see a lot of the things that my father did, and with the same thing with his growth, with his relationship, and I'm like, damn, it's crazy. And I see that, and it's kind of like, damn, it's weird how some people pick up on those things and kind of learn how to move forward with them and address it, and some people don't.
But this is what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying. Going back to like just natural things about that child. I think you were born that way. Like you probably were a critical thinker in preschool, like kindergarten. Like you were already kind of looking around, like, oh no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with this. You were probably very opinionated. We were also very opinionated, right? Like, what I realized now, the older, all kids aren't like that. I used to think that all kids were thinking like I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought, like, oh, no, that's not the case at all. Some people was just out playing with their toys.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Peer pressure, especially with like drugs and weed and shit like that.
That's another great example.
I never understood how people did that.
No, but see, that's another point. Like you're very open. I don't drink, I don't smoke, right? Rich and I've never had a problem with narcotics or substances. It's very easy for me to just say, nah, bro, I don't do that. Like, I have never felt FOMO. I've never felt peer pressure. I was like, nah, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case for everybody.
Everybody can't do that. Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Right, but it's crazy to you because that's how you always been. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got friends. We had conversations. I'd be like, bro, I'm telling you right now, them boys don't know how to turn down a good time. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how. They don't know how. And so I'm just saying, like, a lot of it, I think it comes down to the individual. Like, we do a lot of generalizing, but I think it really comes down to the individual.
I think where you can standardize it is like money. So, like, if you have two parents in your house, you're economically, it's proven that you're going to have a better life. It's proven across the board. Access to education, your access to quality nutrition, access to certain things. And I think people take those economic impacts and try to extrapolate that to the rest of life. But really,
they try to make cultural arguments.
Like you just had a better life because you have more money.
They try to take economic data and make cultural arguments and to support cultural positions, like how you think a household should operate, or like how a community should function. But they're really not. They're really not.
Like they'll say like if a man has a father, he's less likely to engage in criminality. No, if a man got food on his plate and nice clothes to wear, he's less likely to engage in criminality. Exactly. If you got two parents, you're more likely to have food on your plate and nice clothes to wear. But if I ain't got nothing, I'm trying to get it.
Right. It's like correlation is not a causation, right? And I think that's when we have a lot of these conversations. I think that's what's going on a lot of the times. It's like, the data says this. It's like, yeah, the data said it's really talking about socioeconomics. It's not talking about culture. Because the data also I give a great example. 2-parent household income, right? Well, if you come from a household with two homosexual parents, right? The data says that those children are going to be higher academic achievers than kids who come from a heterosexual household. Why? Because the parents are highly educated and they're high income earners. More often, they're more likely to be high income earners. They're going to have higher levels of education.
You're not going to hear that in these little gender discussions.
Right. It's not an argument about culture. It's actually an argument about socioeconomic status, and that's the part that I think people kind of they want to make these convenient arguments about like these heterosexual relationships and masculinity, but the data doesn't support that. It's like the Asian community. I mean, the numbers show you like there's a strong correlation between levels of education and income.
But go ahead, Will.
I was just saying, I agree with y'all point where it comes down to the individual person because, you know, like in my situation, my mom and dad wasn't together at all. Like my mom and pops, they actually don't fucking even like each other. And so like my brothers, they had their mom and dad in the same house. All them niggas is in the streets right now. Every single one of them. I'm the only one of my dad's sons that's not in the streets, bro. So like I think it really do come down to the individual and what they choose, and it comes to critical thinking and stuff like that.
And that's the part.
This is a great example.
So that's the part that tripped me out, right? Because people will make all these and be like, "Bro, you know, we all grew up in the same house, right? We all grew up in the same house, slept on the same bunk bed, slept on the same floors, had the same bugs. We ate the same damn Lunchables and grilled cheese sandwiches and shit. Like we did all that shit together." But the outcomes could be more different, right? So was my mother a great mother or was she a bad mother?
Horrible mother.
Or maybe it wasn't about her quality, like whether she was a good mother at all. Maybe it was just who we were as individuals. You know,
that bitch was terrible.
What you just described is deep, right? Because you're saying my parents were not together, but my brothers actually had their parents, and I still turned out to be the more let's say progressive one. That's a fascinating. That's deep. That's deep. That's even deeper than what me and Ray talked about.
Is it? Is it?
I mean, it's deeper than like.
Okay, let me frame it like this. Out of all of our siblings, did all of them grow without their father?
No, we were the only ones that didn't know our father.
Okay, so this is the point I'm trying to make, right? Like it's fascinating, but it ain't that fascinating when you think about it.
Like me and my sister, that's my only full-blooded sibling, and we talk about that shit all the time. We like, damn, how the fuck and we don't like, I don't like saying, oh, I turned out better than them, but we talk about this shit. Like my sister, she's literally in New York right now, like she's a flight attendant. Like my sister got her shit together, so it's like, you know, we sit back and we just be like, damn, how the fuck we turned out better, you know, and we on our shit, and literally like my brothers, my sisters, all of them, they all doing some illegal shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so look, I'm gonna tell you, because I've had a similar conversation with my little brother. He's actually not my biological brother. He's my adopted brother. He's actually my cousin. Mom passed away, and then I also have another cousin who she's like my sister. But we were all born basically within like 14 months of each other. You know what I'm saying? All of us, right? But out of the 22 grandkids, for some reason, the kids born in that 14-month window all turned out to go and take a particular path, right? Just 4 out of 22, these 4, right? Including 2 of the guys on the space, right? So we always ask, like, man, what happened that year? Like, why was that year so different? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was different about that year that out of 22, grandkids, like these 4 kind of turned out this way? Right? What was in the water that year? You know what I'm saying? Because it's really not like we can't really explain. Can't really explain it. But we were all born between 89 and 90. Can't really explain it.
A lot of times, like, and I know for me, like when I was talking to my sister about it, I'm like, well, you know, we all, and this thing, we all grew up in the hood and shit like that. But my dad actually lived in a bad neighborhood, you know, at the time. So I'm attributing it to that. You know, maybe they were influenced by the people, you know, people they grew up around or something like that. Because I grew up in them same conditions, bro, like in the hood, but it didn't affect me like that. I was kind of like how Rice said, I'd see shit. Like, bro, my uncle was a Crip. I seen a Uzi on his dresser like at 5. I knew what guns were and shit. Like, I knew what weed was, all of that.
Because it was just. See, now you get into the deep part because and you know, me and Ray, we have had one of these conversations on this space a while, but you know, me and Ray, we lived like that. Like I always tell people, the first time I had an automatic rifle, I was 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was pointed at people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so people make all these assumptions about you know, the type of parent or the type of environment, and it just don't really hold up when you start to really get into the facts. You know what I'm saying?
When you grow up and you understand this is what it is, bro. Like that's really just this is every day for us, bro. It's like it becomes a norm. You know what I'm saying? So like when people talk about it from the outside looking in, it's like it's not as foreign as you would think. Like niggas grew up with this shit. You know what I'm saying? and it affects you. And
I think people come up with these generalizations because they don't want to acknowledge the role that decision making plays in your overall outcome. That's a harsh. I guess that was harsh. I'm trying.
I mean, hell yeah! Look at me. Y'all know I went to continuation school.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say harsh things. He laughed because that was kind of harsh. But my point is that.
Wait, what did you say? What happened?
I said people make these generalizations because they don't want to acknowledge the role that decision making plays in the overall outcome. That's true.
Yeah, it's a lack of accountability.
I mean, look. I take myself for example. I went to continuation school. Everybody know that. I fucked up all kinds in high school.
Yeah,
I put myself in the aisle one day and said, "Fuck."
But you know what's funny? You know what's funny, right?
Again, you're very comfortable talking.
You know what's funny, right? And me and Ray, we made bad decisions too. Not in terms of, and I always tell people I wasn't a very violent person. But me and Ray, we did allow our community to influence us in ways that weren't productive. You know what I'm saying? We were very much caught up in the neighborhood, caught up in this position thing that we had going on. And I knew better when I wasn't doing better because of what I wanted at that time. It wasn't until things started to happen where I'm like, man, if I do these things, I'm not going to get what I want. And that's what made me change my decision making. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you mean to tell me I'm not going to get the money, the girl, if I go this route, I'm going to end up this way or that way? Like, to me, that's what provoked me. It was like, I want what I want, and I'm willing to do anything, including give up these people to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I mean, like y'all know, shit. When I was young, I told y'all I used to like to fight. I fought every year, from the 1st grade to the 11th grade. Every year, I fought at least once and got suspended. Every single year. And honestly, it was just one day I woke up and was like, you know what? What I'm doing is bullshit. I always knew it was bullshit, but now I know for sure. And now, motherfuckers my age is getting in motherfucking California zippers. If you know what that is, motherfucker gets shot in the gut and they get staples in their stomach and they got a zipper up their goddamn stomach. And I'm like, I don't want to end up like this. I know that I can do better for myself. And I know if I keep going the way I'm going, it's only 2 routes I'm about to end up. And I don't want to do neither one of those. So I just said, fuck it, and put that shit away. I put away all them friends and I left.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, and I know we try to, I've been kind of chilling lately, but we were just relentless, bro. Like when Richard said I was willing to do anything, I really felt like that. And the funny thing is, when you're in that environment, when you're young, people equate anything with criminality. But here I was sitting there, you telling me all I gotta do is read books and do X, Y, Z, and I'm gonna be able to get this type of money. I mean, all I gotta do is read and write, and that's it.
And this is where environment matters, because like, okay. We in the ghetto or whatever the fuck, I'm around dealers and killers, whatever you want to call it, right? But a lot of these brothers, they come home, they Muslim now, they read books now, they educate, they play chess, they got they can cook. I know that sounds silly, but like they cook their own food, they got certain, but they put us on game. So the first book, Raymond, my brother read, was Malcolm X Speaks. Now, I go watch the Malcolm X movie, so he go to jail, whatever, after he robbed, stealing, whatever. He become a Muslim. But he become educated. Right. So I'm saying, even if I go your route, it's going to lead me right back to the books anyway. Why won't I just read it?
Might as well just start it now, yeah.
I might as well pick up the book now, because I'm going to read it. You telling me this is what I'm supposed to do. But see, the difference is, and this is another thing people say, they don't actually listen when people are talking.
Exactly.
See, the difference is when my old heads was coming home and they said, well, this is how it was. I actually listened to what they had to say. You know what I'm saying?
Like between me and you, I'm gonna say some real stuff. I still eat vinegar and cucumbers to this day. When I started doing that, I was 4 years old because my little brother's father came out of Jackson State Penitentiary. And he would eat vinegar and cucumber.
I'm talking my girl, she liked to cook. My ex-girl. Bro, I'm in the kitchen peeling potatoes. Yeah. She's like, where you learn how to do that? I'm like, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
He taught us how to peel potatoes.
He taught us how to, he was in jail. He used to work in the kitchen.
That was his job. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But to Richard's point, we listened. I was playing dominoes and shit when I was like 6. You learn that from people who was incarcerated.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially in the Midwest, because y'all don't even play that shit.
But it goes back to my point about a lot of this is individual based. It's like, are you processing the information? Are you processing the information that's being given to you? You know, Jeezy had a line on the song where he said, you get more time for selling drugs than murder. And when I was in high school, like, it didn't hit me as much as it hit me now that I'm a grown man. But I knew guys from my neighborhood. This cat, I got manslaughter. This other cat,
over 8 years.
This other cat, he got 30 years. The drugs.
When he married, so the first time we went to the mosque, we went to with somebody who came home from manslaughter.
This is the thing. I was about to connect it. My first time at a mosque on the west side of Detroit was somebody close to me. I ain't gonna say who, but somebody close to me had just came home from manslaughter.
Yep. Yep. And he wasn't over 30.
Yeah, I know one thing that changed my life for real, because I used to look up to my uncle, dog. Like, I used to literally want to be like him. And then I remember one day I had to be like 11 or something like that. We had my grandma's house, and there was a cop posted outside her house like the whole day, the day before, though, just out there watching. So I pulled up to the house or whatever, and I'm in the room with him. Next thing you know, I hear boom, boom. Like, what the fuck, nigga? The cops didn't bust my grandma's door down, and they came in and got this nigga, bro. Like literally that day, bro, I was like, oh man, like, and just seeing my grandma crying and just the whole way that shit even panned out. I didn't see my uncle till like another 4-5 years after that type shit. So it was like that situation, but I was like, yeah, that ain't.
Bro, look, these things happen. These things happen when you're a kid, right? And people try to make it, like I said, they try to generalize. Well, it's the environment. No, it's like, how did you as an individual react to that situation?
Oh, one of the cops came in. He came in the house with a fucking shotgun, pointing that bitch at my grandma, dog. Like, shit, bro, that shit low key. Like, and it's like I don't even like using words like traumatized, but that shit affected me in a way like that made me really start looking at shit different. You know, even as a kid, I'm like, okay, I know. You know, I know how the neighborhood is. I can't be over there on 28th Street like that no more. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it.
But my point is, the point is the fact that you had that thought at that age. That's the difference. You were thinking critically at that young age. What I've come to understand now that I'm in my 30s, is that everybody wasn't thinking critically. Everyone wasn't thinking critically. That was an assumption that I was making. But when we were in grade school, they were talking about reading out loud and reading comprehension and all this stuff. I thought that, you know, it came natural for me, right? Like, it was just something that I did. But what I realize now, whether it was the old heads telling you what to do, or your grandparents telling you about what happened yesteryear, or you witnessing things happening around your environment, everybody's not as conscious as you were, right? And that's something that I've had to come to appreciate. Because, you know, I make the comment, we all grew up in the same house. How could the results be so different? Because they weren't as conscious as you. They weren't as self-aware as you. They weren't as present as you were.
And it's also a matter of, like you said, like how you receive information. You remember, like, when you was young and they'd be like, don't touch the socket. It's like, but you know, you got that one cousin, or maybe it was you. You're like, I'm about to go stick this in that socket. Because you just want to see what's going to happen. Like me, they'd be like, don't stick it in the socket because you're going to get electrocuted. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm straight. I don't think I want to touch that socket. So I think people assume that everybody think like they think, and everybody don't think like you think. Like, you got the one cousin who he's not going to stick the fork in the socket, but the other one, he will. He going to see because he need to know for himself.
Yeah, that's my brother. My youngest, he got to find out for himself. There's been plenty of times I told him don't do some shit, and he'll do it, and he'll be like, damn, you was right. And I'll be like, bro, I'll try to himself.
Yeah, so I think it's an individual thing. I really do. I think it's like this athletics, you know, you're like, oh, you know, we always joke, like, I could like trick a guy into looking like a Division I athlete. If you run a certain 40 time and you got a certain height and you can bench press so many times, you look like a Division I athlete, right? But there's some things you just can't do out there because you just don't have that ability, right? I think this life stuff is the same way. Whether it's academics, professional, whatever you want to call it. Like, I think people just have certain things that are in them and some people don't. I don't think you can like cultivate it is what I'm saying. I think you can encourage it. But I don't think you can give people these, like, I think we all are born with things that are just unique to us.
Yeah, and they to just you. Yeah.
I think it's kind of like, you said a word earlier, and that word is example. Like, one thing about children are like, so like, you know, with me, I know when I have children, I want to be the best example I can be, and you hopefully use that as a model and follow that, you know, being as impressionable as they are. But it all comes down to the examples they have sometimes in front of them. They kids are always watching, so if you're telling them something, and that's different than what we think, so if you're telling them something, but what you're telling them don't really align with how you move, and they see that shit.
Yeah. One ear right out the other.
Right.
They shit out for their own, because they don't trust what you're saying. You're not even standing on what you're talking about, you know? So
yeah, that's my father, 100% all the way. That was my father. He'd tell me the right thing, but I see him do the opposite and be like,
right. I'm sorry for laughing, but you never let the opportunity go by.
Listen. You know what's funny, right? You gotta remember, my father when I was born is 19 years old, so my dad's not that much older than me, right? So, when as I grew up, remember when I was fucking 19, my dad was what, 36?
Right.
It's like 36. So
you know what's crazy? I be thinking about that all the time. Like, man, my mom, bro, was 18. Like, my mom passed away at 48.
Yeah.
I was 20. What was I? 20.
Our mother was 19 when she had us pregnant.
I remember my father.
She was 18 when she got pregnant.
Yeah, I remember my mother and father turning 21. I remember that. Like, so growing up in my household, you know, and remember, I don't have a lot of family like that. A lot of my family in the Midwest, so we lived out here our whole lives. So it was just us. So the dynamic in my household was different. I could have these conversations. I wasn't afraid of my father after a certain amount of time to have this conversation. We've had full-blown arguments.
So this is another, you know what, so that's interesting. I'm curious now because, like, our mother was very young. So, like, Rich and I also had very frank and open conversations with our mother for years. Like, we were like, I used to get spanked because Rich and I were so comfortable talking to adults. We would just say things like, I don't agree with that. Get my ass whooped. I'd be in school, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would get but our mother was so young, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't afraid to talk to my mama. You know what I'm saying? She was still growing up with us.
Yeah, and same with my parents. Same thing. And, like, for instance, I'll give you an example, right? When we went to the Midwest, remember I told you we used to go to Flint every summer as kids. My grandmother, you know, now my parents didn't go to church, right? Both their relatives were heavy in the church. They didn't go. We went out there in the summer. Of course, you know, my grandmother, she a treasurer of the fucking church. So we going to church. They going through the whole thing, you know, because we got starting Bible school and all that. And I'm like, that shit sound like bullshit, right? As soon as I get in there, that sound like bullshit, right? And I would always come back to the same thing. If this is such divine intervention and it's you know, they praying it's gonna do this, then explain to me slavery, right? And then they always give me this excuse, and it sounded like bullshit. And I got in trouble the first day I went there. And it was just because
I'm not gonna lie, that's a wild story. I'm
a question. And I think for me, I don't have kids, right? One of the things I would always, you know, that one of the foundations I always want to have when I have my children, one, question everything.
Yeah.
Question everything, be inquisitive, and be willing to look up the information for yourself. Because a lot of people just take what people say and just roll with it.
Well, you know what's funny is that's why I used to get my ass whooped, because our mother told us to do that. Like, she told us don't listen to people. She said don't ever listen to what people say. She said don't ever take it for face value. You always question everything they say, and you always want to know. She said you gotta always know the answer for yourself. And the thing about that, I didn't realize it at the time, but that really was the foundation for our intellectual curiosity.
Yeah. Like, y'all don't realize every time we talk about stats, I always pull up the stats.
I'm gonna give you some game, right? Like the way we move in LA. I don't talk about it a lot, but I told you we go to LA for a day. We always go to the Valley. Richard and I, the reason that I know how to move out there so much, the first month in LA, I was like 9 or 10. I was so fucking smart, bro, when we was in Inglewood and Monrovia and Santa Monica. I remember where everything was after the first time I went there.
Yeah.
So not no more in Inglewood. You don't.
No, I ain't been out there. But JT, I'm gonna give y'all some game. Remember a couple years ago we went to Palm Springs, right? What I didn't tell y'all was that was my first time being in LA in like a decade, but I knew where everything was at because I was always so present. Like we were always so like I used to be reading signs, reading maps. Richard, matter of fact, when we play AAU, Richard was the damn map reader in our AAU day.
It's funny you say that, right? Now, I'm gonna give you an example. So remember, I just told you I came back from Puerto Vallarta from Mexico, right? So when we got off the plane, right now it's me, the person I'm with, my boy and his wife, right? Now we get off the plane. Now for the resort that we were at, the first time I went here, they picked us up. The resort picked us up. But the second time something happened and they weren't there. Now it took us an hour to figure it out. Now keep in mind, we in Mexico, right? So I get kind of frustrated with it. I'm like, you know what, fuck this. Let me find a black label taxi and get us to where we need to go, right? We get in the damn taxi. We driving, right? Now, when we driving, my girl, my boy, and his wife are all texting in our group chat, like, hey, look up the address. Now, remember, we in Mexico, so our phones don't work. They're not working because it's got to switch over from roaming. You got to turn on the data roaming. Now, they all, like, hey, put in the directions so we make sure we go in the right way because we're in Mexico. So I text them, chill, I know where we're going. So I remember, and I've been here once. I remember exactly when you made a right turn, what was there. It was a burger spot you make a right on. That's how I know we're going the right way. It's a couple little landmarks I remember. So when we get to the hotel, they like, how did you know where we're going? I'm like, I remember because I looked. I always look.
I'm paying attention. I think that those type of attributes, and people, they come up with all type of, they call it being street smart, being aware. It's like some people just foster this heightened sense of like attention or like, just like your awareness of your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it took me a long time to realize that everybody doesn't have that.
People don't do that.
They don't do that. They
like,
just
if I go into space with people, if I go into space I don't know, or I don't know something, I'm gonna be quiet and be in the back and pay attention. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be the loud boisterous one because that loud boisterous one is gonna get smashed up.
I used to be like that until I went to law school with the preppies, and I realized that we need to speak up.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because I realized, when I got to NYU, bro, I used to be so quiet. Richard would tell you I was quiet because I was like, these cats from Harvard and Penn and Stanford and all this stuff. And
they rich.
They gonna just say whatever.
So I'm trying to see how smart they are and like how they communicate. I'm really trying to figure out what level they at. And then when I realized after so long, it's they just in here just talking. This guy don't know nothing. He's in here just saying stuff.
Talking because it's free.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, after I realized what was going on, I'm like, let me speak up. You know what I'm saying? But so after having that experience, it was like, I'll never go in a room again and hesitate to give my opinion.
I actually had this conversation one time. Actually, me and T-Rob talked about this. We were talking about a team. We were looking at videos of Howie. Y'all know Howie, he the Eagles GM. Mm-hmm. The point is when you get in them environments. And that's part of the reason why more brothers start speaking up on the spaces. But when you get them environments, them guys talk to each other all type of ways.
Yep.
They call each other names. If you try to fuck me over, they say all type of words, whatever. But they talking from a place of business.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's nothing personal about it. There's no disrespect about it. It's just we're out here trying to make things happen. And I can't make things happen unless I'm expressing myself in open and free terms, right? You learn that when you get around these people that come from, because where we come from, you got to protect yourself. It's always you constantly playing defense. It's what they doing on that corner, who they coming down the block, where the police at. Everything is defensive. Everything is defensive. And if you slip up, it might cost you your life, might cost you your freedom. But what you realize when you get out of those environments, especially when you get around the privileged people, they coming from a place of what can I do? What can I say? What can I make happen? It's nothing defensive. It's only offensive. And so it's if you only know how to communicate with somebody in a defensive posture,
And like, you're never going to make the best deal. You're never going to make the best relationship.
You want to know something I noticed? They are them types are very handsy. They're very, very handsy. Like, they like to, like, firm handshake, right?
Oh yeah,
or they'll touch you on your shoulder. Yeah, they're
you know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is, right? And I figured this out. They're trying to see how real you are. No, how real you are.
Yeah.
Are you authentic? You know how they talk about the spook by the door?
Yeah.
They looking for that person that they can weed out. It's funny, man. It's funny when you really think about this. And it's funny because this actually played into this whole NBA conversation that we having, because the NBA has been in a campaign for about the last 14 years to try to weed out all the quote-unquote, fluid elements, right? They don't want kids who come from that defensive posture.
Yeah.
They don't want kids we're talking about practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's very crazy.
Because it's very crazy. That is not how we grow the brand.
Hey, Rich put me on this one a while ago about Iverson, but now he got me thinking on another level about NFL. Like, and I'm not saying because he's my quarterback, and I'm not trying to, I don't talk shit about this dude. I like to do. He don't pick my team, but they don't want to. How can I say this shit without sounding like?
I know something.
I know Let him say.
They don't want to give Jalen Hurts a proper. They want to give Lamar Jackson a proper.
Yep.
Because Lamar come off a certain different type of way, but Jalen Hurts come in a certain way. It's like they don't want to promote that, but they want to promote
T.Y. And if you think about it, bro, that's why I love when I be having these talks with you, because, like, bro, you be connected.
No, you can tell him what we said about him.
I understand what you're saying.
You can tell him what we said about him.
I'm gonna say this, T.Y. Like, the thing I love about you, man, is like, I know you've been through a lot, but unlike most people who've been through a lot, your mind is still open
and inquisitive.
Like, you're still able to analyze a situation and see different perspectives and put them together. Like, that is such a gift.
And you're not afraid to talk to people that you don't like.
Right. Like, that is like, you have gifts of communication that a lot of people they don't have.
But
like,
Rich, it's crazy. I like when you first did the Iverson Kobe thing, I'm like, no, he tripping. So I looked at it, no, they wanted Iverson to be the guy. They didn't want Kobe to be the guy. But I didn't understand it until I looked into it.
I'm telling you, T.Y. And the funny thing is, people hear me say, "Oh, I'm a lawyer. I wear suits every day." But I'm from the trenches. I come from nothing. I mean, hood, gangs, whatever you want to call it. I got all that. I did all that. You know what I'm saying? But I wear suits every day now.
They don't want Prescott. They don't want the Prescott, the Wilson, the Jalen Hurts. They want the other guys.
I think for me, because I lived on both sides, I see the messaging that they give to our young brothers. It's like, this ain't real, that's real. But the funny thing is, if you really from that place, if you really, and a lot of us on here really from that place, ain't nothing real about it. So the culture got rips, the streets got rips.
Relating to this very thing, do y'all think that's why the Ant Edwards pushes so hard?
Yes.
JJ. They don't. Absolutely. They don't. JJ. Jason Tatum is from the hood of the St. Louis. That boy from the gutter. Okay. St. Louis is one of the roughest cities in this. Like, if we want to talk about who,
but he doesn't fit the mold.
But the boy professionalism, the way he carries himself. He don't get mad. He don't overreact. He's just a consummate professional. But no, they want to give you John, who's from the burbs, no disrespect. He's from the suburbs, and he want to walk around toting guns and shit. Tattoos and braids and this and that.
That's crazy.
Hey, like I told y'all, ain't one with a nigga yet.
The one from the trenches is walking around like the most professional guy in the game. You get what I'm saying, JT?
This kid in Philadelphia, and this is why I've been pissed off from day one, because they're understand the undertones of this shit. Jalen Hurts was raised by his father from Houston, Texas, quarterback he quarterback coached his son up to supremacy. He's a consummate professional, solid brother, an Omega, by the way, from Houston, super solid, carry himself super solid, married to a queen. You know what I'm saying? This brother is all-American boy. He's an all-American boy by every stretch of the imagination.
Wait, I'm going to correct you. That man from Channel View, Texas. So,
Anybody
from here know that state. That is a very humble, good city, bro. Like, real shit. He's from
I know, but his dad raised him, right?
Yeah.
Isn't his dad like a quarterback coach or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. The point is, he's raised by a strong black father. I don't really care about the Houston part. I care about his father. This is a very important point that I'm making. I'm more focused on the father here, because there's an undertone to the criticism about him, right? There's an undertone. He's not doing all the, he doesn't have a certain look or a certain disposition. He doesn't talk a certain way that that they feel like they can kind of like amplify and use as an example of how certain people behave. No, he's just a solid dude, married to a queen, and he just gets the job done.
He dressed like '94 Michael Jordan.
You know what I'm saying?
And I want to be clear. I'm not on no like political correctness shit. My whole point is, it's so many different ways to be a black man.
Exactly.
And trying to portray one is real and one is fake, or one is impressive and another as a bum or whatever, or one is a thug and one is, bro, it's ridiculous.
It's naive.
It's ridiculous. Like, all they do is they just try to pit us against each other
and categorize you.
Right? Even the whole Mahomes thing. Y'all seen this man, father. We all know a cat like Pat Mahomes' daddy. We know that old school cat who stays drinking and smoking, and he love white women. Okay, that's his pops. Like, is that not a real brother? Because he had a baby by a white woman? Come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? What do we do here? Like, who wins from this conversation?
Is the other one his son too? The TikTok one. No, I'm not
That's his son. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you right now, his father might be the blackest guy. Like, his father's his father's a straight up brother.
My point is that the media and the industry, and I got nothing against Lamar Jackson. So frankly,
actually, I love the kid.
I actually love his story, and I'm just being real. He's not as good as they say he is. They want people to think that because that's the image that they want to give, and that's just the reality of the situation. That's just the reality of the situation.
A really important topic.
Well, I agree with you until you say you're not as good as they say.
Well,
that part I disagree with.
Okay, well, look at his playoff stats and look at Jalen Hurts' playoff stats.
Well, yeah, but it's still kind of early.
What about this one? Like, and this might seem kind of blasphemous because
I disagree with that.
When he got drafted
has he not been on a good team, Raymond? Has he not been?
Is he a better prospect than Michael Vick?
Who?
Lamar Jackson.
Times have changed. You can't say. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't say that because the game
NFL has changed.
Like, if Mike Vick was in this NFL with the slide rule and all types of
not even that. The offenses are different.
I'm gonna tell you.
They run RPOs and college stuff, but they wasn't running with Michael Vick.
Exactly. Another point is the gloves, the receivers, these catches they making. Michael Vick used to throw a rocket. The technology has changed around catching the ball. So maybe Vick would have been more dynamic in this soft league.
Think about it like this. You give Michael Vick, you give him these receivers with these super gloves, you give him RPOs, right? You give him all the
passer, no hitting below the knees.
Give him all the stuff that you give Hurts and Jackson and Cam Newton. Give him that same set of stuff, like resources, and I think he would have done something really crazy.
No, can I ask that because one guy, Vic did go number 1 and Lamar went number 31. So it is a difference, but Lamar dropped for different reasons. But
I don't agree with
this dude was crazy talented.
I don't agree with my brother when he said that's not right. That's actually
he's crazy talented.
That's super wrong. But I do think there is this overemphasis on image though. There is, and he's like you said, Weber. You're wrong. He is. I think he's as good as I think he's as good as his numbers say he is.
He's not good enough to have 3 MVPs right now, but okay, it's cool.
Well, he shouldn't have. No. See, that's what I'm saying. See, you caught up in. He shouldn't have 3 MVPs, but he should have 2.
I think he should have 2.
He should have 2. So don't be hyperbolic because you recognize that he shouldn't have won it last year. Because that's
my point.
Now you're being now you're.
Wait,
now you're exactly-
let's be real. What thing should have always been the rich?
You say what?
Peyton Manning. He won it. Evan McNair should have. That's McNair MVP.
That's my
They
point.
shared
Too.
it.
That's my point too. They propped up Peyton Manning in a similar way of like they wanted to sell a certain. Oh, he's smarter than everybody. He's the superior person. But the facts didn't support that. If you go look at the facts, they didn't support everything they said about him.
I just thought, I wanted to take a step back. Don't be hyperbolic because you're still mad that it gives the MVP to your quarterback. Yeah,
I don't care. I go to my grave saying this: the one year he won MVP, the MVP league was Ed Reed.
You're probably right about that. I think you got a good argument that year.
The year everyone participated the year when he had like all the returns, Ed Reed was the MVP of the NFL, but they would never get to a safety.
So wait, is Saquon gonna get like an offensive player of the year?
Although he should be the
MVP, right?
Should be the MVP.
Yeah.
He's the actual most valuable player.
Exactly.
But he won't win MVP. No.
Right. It's gonna go to who? Allen?
No, Lamar.
It's gonna be Lamar Jackson.
He's gonna be 3-time MVP. Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
JG, don't worry about it. Saquon go to Disney World, baby. He's the real MVP.
Man, I'll be happy for that.
Again, my whole point is, Derrick Henry got 19 out of 50 rush yards. Like Saquon, who on Saquon team has them type of stats?
What you mean? I think what you like the other players.
I guess what he's saying is like there was a significant amount of pressure being taken off the
My point is it was very hard to defend the Ravens because you got Lamar.
But you could argue the Eagles was the same thing. I mean, it's different. The problem is people don't perceive Jalen to be the deep threat that he is with the pass game, but he is a threat. Right? And so it's a similar problem.
I think AJ probably got. I think if you go across the board, I think AJ numbers are probably better than Zay's. I think
exactly. Well, no. I think they're not better. Smitty, but he was more efficient. They weren't better.
I think Smitty and Bateman probably comparable.
Yeah,
I don't know Bateman numbers, but I think Smitty had like 800 yards.
Yeah,
I don't know what Bateman had
because remember Zay ended up getting hurt on 74 grabs. He had. No, you're right. AJ did have better numbers. AJ had better numbers.
How many yards Bateman? How many yards did Zay have?
Zay had 1,000. He had 1,059 on 74 grabs. AJ had 64 receptions with 1,079 and 7 touchdowns. So AJ actually was even better with less games played. So yeah, he was better. And then Bateman. Let me see Rashad Bateman. Bateman.
I know Smitty missed some games, but Smitty was like 3 games.
Yeah, but remember, when you look at Lamar's numbers, you got to think about Andrews too. I don't know what his numbers were, but Bateman had 9 touchdowns, 756 passing yards, and Devonta Smith had, let's see, Devonta Smith, about the same, 68 receptions, like 833 yards and 8 touchdowns. So the top 2 receivers on both teams are very similar this year. I think where you're going to see the difference is at the tight end position. So give me 1 second. Let me look at Mark Andrews. And
I think Goddard missed like 6 games.
Yeah, exactly. Goddard missed a lot of games. So Andrews ended up with 673 yards and 11 tutties. That's a lot of touchdowns. And then Goddard, let's see. What's his first name? Goddard. Dallas. That's his name. Dallas Goddard. There we go. Okay, Dallas Goddard had 419 yards with 2 touchdowns with only 42 receptions. So,
how many games you played, Ray?
Played. We don't have the games played. Give me 1 second. Games played this year was only 10.
Yes, he played 10 games, so 6 more games. He might have had like 700 yards.
It might be time for y'all to get in the tight end business because I'm looking at Dallas Goddard's breakdown. He's playing less and less now.
No, it's crazy. My man Aladdin here, they said we looking at the kid from Miami.
Oh, okay. So y'all already on top of it. Okay, yeah. The kid from Miami. Yeah, it might be time to move on home from Mr. Goddard.
Yeah, bring him. He had a hell of a playoffs, though.
No, I mean, hey, gotta get it done right now. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, we have talked about this, though. But you know, you are... one thing we appreciate is, like, you're always willing to have the conversation. And you really can't say that about a lot of people. Hello? You heard? Nah, you willing to have that conversation, man. That's an underrated quality. That's a very underrated quality.
No, because you got, sometimes you may not know what's going on, but somebody sees you got like observe.
Well, I always tell people the whole Kobe Bryant thing, and it's funny how history is so revisionist. He was doubted, he was disrespected. They questioned his character, his sexuality, everything about him. He didn't even make first team All NBA until 2002. Okay, he was a 3-time champion when he made first team All NBA. Like, but you know,
say that again, because these young people don't know that. Say that again.
Kobe Bryant was a 3-time champion when he made first team All NBA. His first time making first team All NBA. Like people act like he was just so praised, and that's not how he went at all. He was doubted at every turn. Like the culture in the NBA, nobody wanted to give him the position that he got, and it had nothing to do with
teammates.
It had nothing to do with basketball.
What do you mean? They were telling people that the guy was a homosexual and he showered alone.
Yeah, like it had nothing to do with basketball. It had everything to do with his personality and how he presented himself.
Hey, Wright, you there, Wright? Is you there, Wright?
Wright, remember? Wright is a big Kobe fan.
No, Wright was there. No, Wright put me on. That dude, Shaq, is the biggest hater in the world, man.
Oh, yeah.
That Shaq dude. No, he weird. He a hater, man. I know Kobe was alive. He probably want to talk about it, but I know there's probably some story about Shaq that probably would never come out. I know he did a lot of sucker shit. I know he did.
Yeah.
Like Rick Fox, would never probably talk Rick Fox and make sure talk about it.
Don't forget the rap concert that he did.
Look. But you know the NBA. But you know the NBA back then. You know the NBA back then was a different NBA, man. Guys used to do real foul stuff. Like, I mean, like let's not forget how Dennis Rodman left the Detroit
Pistons, wives and girlfriends, like all type of crazy stuff, shootouts and all type of stuff. The NBA's crazy about this.
Yeah, like let's not forget Dennis Rodman left the Detroit Pistons for a reason.
Yeah, but the point, my point to you is, I'm always very conscious of like image. Like, how are they portraying things, and like, why are they portraying things this way? And for me, when I was little, I used to pay a lot of attention to Kobe because I'm like to me, he was already the best player, like before he was acknowledged as the best player. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he wasn't my favorite player, Jason Kidd was my favorite player. But I always thought it was weird that people had a problem with his personality because it seemed to me all he ever did was play basketball. So,
hey, Rich, you think he'll get his flowers because his off the field stuff, Jason Kidd?
Oh, I know for a fact. I know for a fact that's why.
Well, we know, but it was nasty.
I mean, that
was a different time. That was a different time.
Let me be clear. My favorite player was not a model citizen. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, he was.
Like Jason Kidd.
No, dude, it's like when they talk about the great point guards, like they never really mention Jason Kidd. And this dude, like me, like I'm 41, so I seen Stockton. I really didn't see Magic. I really didn't see Zeke in their prime. But like, so when I seen Kidd, like dude got everybody involved in the game. He really deep.
I just want to flag. He tagged the New Jersey Nets in the finals. The starting lineup was Kerry Kittles, Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson. And Aaron.
Keith Van Horn, right?
I thought it was Williams.
I thought it was Van Horn the first year. 1 year was Van Horn the first year, and then the next year it was
Collins. It was Collins.
Jaron Collins. But and the funny thing is, people talk about this stuff today. Jason Kidd did that, averaging 14 points. By the way, 14 points per game, and then the next year he averaged.
That's what a real point guard looked like.
18, but like.
Hey, look, we get Chris Paul his flowers. This dude got Richard Jefferson and he got King Martin max contracts.
Man,
yes, he did.
Let's run the floor.
I mean, he's a genius. But you know, J. Kidd, he kind of ruined his opportunity to get that.
Well, at the peak of his powers, he committed things. He did things. He just had he just did some.
He had a rough situation in Dallas too with the whole Jimmy Jackson. Like he made a lot of bad decisions. You know, but anyway.
But you're right though. That's one of the best point guards.